And we're back on the high seas. Or river. Or. We had a boat. Okay, we got a boat.
In a world that's mostly landlocked, being a pirate on a river is perfectly fine.
I
I'm
mean,
pretty sure we're on like the equivalent of a Great Lake right now.
or at least head to one. Like, I think we're on the Mississippi.
I think that's
I thought we
a
made it
pretty.
past the river.
You are still in the river. You are still in the river, but you are on your way to the. It is pretty much like a Great Lake and or like an inland sea. Yeah.
I think I misunderstood how big that was because I could have sworn we were on open water.
Oh, not yet. No, but this is a really
Okay,
big
then how
river.
big? Because you said there was water to the horizon on both sides. How wide is this river then?
I can pull up the map, and I can show you. So it's a little fuzzy, but
It does look pretty big.
it is. If we move over here, you
To
last
give an
session.
idea, that is larger than any river that exists in the natural.
So
Well, it depends on if it's a strait, because if you're like in the Panama Canal, for example, you can actually see horizon.
True, but
Most
I mean, if
rivers
you're talking about
curve
like
and change.
So,
length of river, yeah.
This has highlighted, I think, another misunderstanding. Because I think I mentioned last time that you could see the edges of the valley to your north and to your south.
Fair
But
enough.
it was water straight, to like forward backward is water straight over the horizon. Does that make sense?
Oh no,
Yeah.
that absolutely makes sense. Like I wasn't talking about horizontal. I could have, and this is me probably mishearing. I could have sworn
Okay.
it was described water to horizon on all sides, which made me think
No.
lake. Not I think I misunderstood then. I didn't know we were still in the middle.
Totally. Hey, I'm glad we're talking about it. Not a problem at all. But to your point, so if I point out the map, you are officially like here. So Scald, you left Scald last time. It's more like right here, honestly. You left Scald and spent a good chunk of the day casting off and going down, and then last session you spent the entire duration sailing. Put you about in this big divot here. Is where we are starting.
Are you
today.
showing us? Because we're still on the boat map.
Oh my goodness, I am a fool. Yes, I am showing you, and I forgot to. There we go. Let's try that again. I'm a fool. All right, so if Scald is here, right? I'm pinging.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and it's not perfect. It's not a perfect one for one in terms of feet, right? But if we're talking sheer number of miles, right? In the amount of miles that you're able to get in a day, it puts you, at about here.
Ah, so the mouth.
Mm-hmm. So you're not quite in the cauldron just yet, but you're encroaching on it. If that
How
makes sense.
fast is this boat? Out of curiosity.
If
Like, is it
remember-
average boat speed? So, like, you don't have to tell me. I know boat length speeds.
so
I was just
it's
wondering if
on
it's
your
like average or slower.
Yeah, it's 3 mi so it was a bit slower. It is a bit slower. Given that it is a smaller ship. But it is not as slow as like a rowboat, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So starting to get into the areas where things are going to get a little bit more interesting,
This
tumultuous.
is 72 miles, y'all. It's about 10 miles a foot.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, it took us quite a few days to get from to walk even that amount of distance. It took us like almost 2 days, so that seems to track if we haven't been like super speedy. But it's also not like
Oh
we're
yeah,
not
no,
in,
I'm
we're not in the
mostly just
material
getting
plane, so things
yeah,
are just
I'm
gonna
mostly
happen when
getting
they happen.
perspective of like length, size of map, and like where we are. I'm not trying to be
You-
like, oh yeah, this is wrong. I'm trying to understand.
Given how much time you're actually spending sailing, right? You can expect probably 2 to 3, maybe 4 days of travel. But that depends on, so the biggest thing.
Also, hello. I realize that we haven't properly started, but
Oh yeah, this is all my bad. I
No, you're
completely
good.
got,
No, it's
got really
fine.
wrapped up in the logistics of map designing
So-
because it's something it's like a personal passion of
Oh,
mine.
for
So you can
sure.
tell me to shut the fuck up
No,
anytime you
so
want.
so we're good. So like if you think about it this way, right? Because of how many miles that would be, and the ship is going at about 3 miles an hour, right? If we're talking about how many active miles y'all are actively sailing, assuming that you have a headwind, because it's half speed if you don't have a headwind.
Also, if we're cutting across side to side to like, what's the term again? Nautical Zan. When you're cutting into the wind, is it just cutting?
For
When you-
When you're going against the wind and like going side to side in order to.
yes.
Yeah. So given that, and given how much that slowed you down to about 1.5 miles per hour ish, I would say that this is probably, like, given how long for the 2 days that you were sailing, right? This feels like a reasonable place, about approximate, right? And then thinking on that front, right, you can expect, depending on where this underground destination is probably going to be, you can expect maybe like 2, maybe 3 more days travel before you can reach your destination. But that also depends on whether or not you are able to immediately identify where exactly it is.
Makes sense.
So-
Sorry, Leah. If you're cutting side to side against a headwind, that's called tacking.
Thank you. Tacking. That's the term.
Yes. Appreciate that for myself as well.
It has been a while since I learned how to say.
Yeah. But I hope that did that clear that up for you? Does that feel reasonable, sound, make sense?
I was never questioning in the sense of like, hey, this is wrong. I was questioning in the sense of I want to know the actual like sizing of the map and where we are more than anything else.
Sure. 100%. 100%. Totally fine with that. Not an issue.
I like maps.
Yeah. And this is a game with a pretty big map. But with that, shall we go ahead and get started proper?
Why not?
I would say that's good to me.
all right.
Come.
Come to a world of horror like no other.
Get copyrighted.
No,
for that.
wait. Considering
Without
it's October,
any sun.
That's so
Certain-
scary because we could get copyright by either Monty or Lorian.
Where the people wander, desperate and undone.
Damn.
Nah, this is parody. It's fine. We're good.
Instead of saying comes, shouldn't we be saying June for this month?
Nah, they're still unexpectables on Wednesdays. You're fine.
Yeah, I have to start organizing another death pool, okay?
Pause. Instead of
I-
come, it's no pause.
Pause
I
in the
can't
chat.
opine on that. I have insider information.
No, for sure. But
Speaking of pausing, why don't we go around the horn and introduce ourselves proper? I can start. Hello, welcome to the stream. It's not my stream technically, but it's my stream now, I guess. Jazz hands. I am your DM for the evening. Tixtixel. You can find me all over the internet at Tixtixel, where we sure are doing stuff and things. Let's see here. Tomorrow we are Delta ruining over at the Amusing Thalia's channel. I was saying this on Friday. I'm gonna say it again. It's getting good, and I'm very excited to see Leah's reactions to everything. Then Friday we have another episode of Cazador's Guide to the Cosmos, DM'd by our lovely Leah here, and we will cherish the ghost of Zan, the spirit of Zan. And then I believe Saturday is No Love for Extra, where we're back at it again in the Krispy Kreme. I think that's everything on my end. So I'm gonna pass the dribble and pass the talking skull to Kaz.
Hi, I'm Kaz. You can find me on Instagram and Blue Sky at Kaz.Because, or at Sarcastic Vision, also on Instagram and Blue Sky. Probably not for a minute though, because I'm stressed and I have to con crunch in like 2 weeks a lot of stuff. So you can watch me do that. That's about it. So that's me. I'm gonna kick the talking skull over to Zan.
Hi, that's me. You can catch me tomorrow, twitch.tv/theunexpectables at 6 p.m. PST for some more Domains of Dread in the realm of Ravenloft. So if you want more spookiness for Spooky Month, that will be there. Aside from that, I'm pretty swamped this upcoming week because I'll be on vacation. So I'm not really going to be on any streams. If I am, they're going to be pretty sporadic. You can check on what I'm up to at all my Blue Sky at Xanos Scrim. Though I will be back on Saturday for twitch.tv/theunexpectables 6 p.m. PST for some more All Saints Must Die cyberpunk story. So if you want some of that, that'll be there. And that's me. So I'm going to toss it over to Skelly.
Hey everybody, it's me, Skelly Alpha. I can be found under Blue Sky and Twitch under the same names. Work is extremely light lately, so I'm sure people have been seeing. I've been streaming a whole lot more than usual. A lot of Minecraft Adventure Story and the like. And other than that, I'll be found here every other Sunday for this game. And for a Paper Mario themed D&D game every Thursday, Paper Mario and the Cosmic Caper. So if you like that and want a more comedy-driven campaign, swing on by on Thursdays. That's really it for me. I'll pass it over to Leah.
Hi, I'm Leah. The previous opening we were singing is a non-profit fan-based parody owned by Monster Blue and Lori and Roth and the Unexpectables. Please support the official release. I'm Leah. I'm here on every other Sunday. I'm on my channel at Amusing Thalia on Mondays. I'm on at Distortion Devil's channel on Fridays. I do mostly TTRPG stuff, doing Deltarune on Mondays. I have my own TTRPG thing on Thursdays. That's going to be every other Thursday. And then I have a Pathfinder thing coming up. Who knows? But other than that, you can catch me around on other people's streams. I'm very thankful and lucky to be wherever I end up. And I'm going to dribble. And I believe that we have, last but most certainly not least, the host, the person who we could not do this without, Bernard Vaughn.
Yeah, hi, thank you. You've already found me here at twitch.tv/BurnoutVaughn. You can find me on Blue Sky and YouTube at Burnout Vaughn, over on Patreon, Burnout's Bar. Yeah, aside from possibly having to play Mr. Tenna again during Leah's playthrough of Deltarune tomorrow over on her channel, all we've really got is more No Love or Extra, where there's so many idioms for what Melt wants to do to us. None of them are good. All of them are sticky. That's where I'm going to leave it. If you're a Fate fan, you know, and you already are ashamed. But with that out of the way, it's time for us to play our lovely theme song so we can get into this lovely session for the first one of our spooky month.
In a dog-eat-dog world, one must become a cat.
That was the perfect thing to come in on.
So, is everyone here and ready?
Yes.
You'll-
Power Ranger pose.
Duh. Can you force pose?
Over here, Common Rider pose. Common Rider calling it.
Ginyu Force. That's
Big Bad Beetleborg pose.
Oh, my man. I remember Flabber.
So, would anyone like to offer the recap? If not, I will do it myself.
Nose goes.
I did it last time. I try not to do it twice in a row.
I'm kind of tempted to hear Saris give one now.
Alrighty. When last we left our wanderers, the strays that sing spent the majority of the time getting accustomed to the ship. The ship itself, not necessarily in the best conditions, but of course, nevertheless a working ship. We saw moments of time of the lovely captain, Ephestial, the two, shall we say, I had the word, it's gone. The two rowers, although they found out that they shouldn't be rowing, Lena and Branson, and sometimes Clem. Clem assisting as well, either emotionally or via watching over in terms of allowing the party to sleep. But the four of them did not know the first thing about actually sailing. Thus, Razvan, though not having sailed in quite some time, took it upon himself to ensure that the ship was in best condition that it could be, and or if it wasn't, what needed to be taken note of, and getting the ship in its proper station, ready to move forward. However, in the midst of all of this, Razvan was met with a familiar face in his dreams. One offering to guide him through visions of potentially connected and or antagonistic forces, of which he was instructed to take note of and to remember them and to keep a watchful eye for them. For they are connected not just to Cardicus itself, but to each and every member, including Clem, of the Strays That Sing. He was also given a warning that whether he liked it or not, he would have to step up. And this was something that he echoed in and of himself. On the other side of the bunk, Branson also met a person. More so a deity in his dream. The person who had been guiding him since before the journey to Cardicus, since before the carnival itself, heard his call finally and offered an audience. Though brutal, though direct, and from what Branson comes to understand, clashing with his current reflected state of self. While this offered him an opportunity to learn not just about who he was serving and what abilities he would gain, he also learned a sense of uncertainty in himself and in his mission and what he had decided to do moving forward. In the meantime, Clem, having opportunities to engage with not one but both familiars in their bird-like form found the river's waters to be calm. And as the morning came, while reconvening and getting settled in, the 5 of them were met with Omen informing them of a fisher's boat down the way, heading its course in the direction of their own ship. We enter with the crew, figuring out which way the wind goes in the morning and preparing to potentially meet a bunch of strangers. We start our session with everybody having already fed, getting ready to go for the day, being alerted to this oncoming ship. In the immediate moments, what are you all doing?
Lena probably would be heading to topside. I forget if she was there currently. But she would head to topside to greet the oncoming ship because she knew there's not much food on the ship.
Yes, last we left off, you and Branson were both working on the riggings, helping a Festial steer.
Okay.
Rosvon had been identifying items in the hall, and Clem was taking a nap in the crow's nest.
Sorry, what wasn't Omen just staring at them the entire time?
Yeah. Was looking between the oncoming ship and Clem themselves. And unless anyone else wants to do anything then, I would like... Let me double check my notes here. I believe it's going to be a survival check from a Festial and strength checks from both Lena and... I'm sorry, athletics checks, my bad. Athletics checks from both Lena and Branson.
You got it.
17.
7.
And an 11 from me.
Branson, you remember the instructions that Rosman had given you about maintaining the riggings as to watch the direction not only of the ship but of the wind. And I feel like if you'll allow me to give the flavor here, it makes a lot of sense that Lena, with Vern currently not at her shoulder, perched upon one of the masts, it makes sense that with all the rocking and the movement on this barren ship, that it would make a lot of sense for her to struggle with trying to keep up. Nevertheless, with 2 successes, the ship stays on course. As a Festial, you are able to, with the help of Omen, quite literally barking, "Starboard! Port!" You are able to move with ease. Although it is a little odd, a Festial, you've never taken directional orders from a bird before.
It's never too late to start.
It's so true.
The fisher boat ahead of us, do we have good visuals on it at this point?
It's a little difficult, but it is rapidly approaching. Like, we're talking within minutes, because it also, as Omen had reported, seems to be sailing in your direction. So you've got your speed and their speed at the same time.
Okay. As he sees that happening and Lena made her comment about wanting to potentially stop for them. He'll run down and grab Razvan. Razvan, sorry to bother you again. How do you slow the ship down?
Are we sailing against the wind, or are we sailing with it?
Uh, is it with or against? I don't remember.
Is the wind hitting you on the face, the side, or the back?
That's
I
more of a
need-
question for Sarah, because I don't remember.
a roll, my dear Ephestial. Roll me a d8.
Oh boy, okay. That's a CX.
It is a southwestern wind. And to put it into perspective, I will switch us over temporarily to the map of Carticus so you can see.
I think that would make it a crosswind.
It would.
All right, so excellent. It's like the hardest thing to slow down. All right, I believe the best way in this case would be to try and set the sails to half mast and drop anchor if you need to stop immediately.
All right,
You
got it.
begin. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Rosvan will head up top and assist with putting the masts or putting the sails to half mast, and then once the anchor is dropped, completely removing the sails.
Roll me an athletics check for that anchor.
Could Branson help with that?
Sure, with
Branson,
advantage.
you could do that.
Or
entirely.
you could do that, yeah.
Yeah, sure. So just an
ahead.
athletics check for him. Okay.
Yep, athletics.
24.
24. This is nothing. You could do an early workout with this anchor.
Let me put it this way: it's a little too far inside, inside this part of the ship. So Branson has to literally just shoulder it, walk it over to the edge, and then drop it.
Sure, 100%. But the idea being, this is nothing. This is nothing for you. And here is a question for you, Razvan. Are you doing any climbing to on the rigging to lower and/or tie up the sails, or is this something that you are using the rigging to pull them down?
He's using the rigging to wind them back up to the top of the masts.
Sure. So, with that, and this is not necessarily going to be a can you do it. This is going to be a level of
Proficiency, it makes sense.
Yeah, level of proficiency. Go ahead and roll me a. This is going to be a dexterity check.
Okay.
Go ahead and add your proficiency bonus to it, if not already.
13.
Okay.
Oh, check. Sorry.
That
It would
is
have been
a-
the same,
that is a
actually.
save.
It would
Okay.
have been the same amount.
Is that with proficiency?
Yeah, because he has dexes. He has proficiency with
Oh.
dex saves anyway.
Cool. So it's a little wobbly. It's a little wonky. But you are able to successfully do so. You just kind of realize that you might have to be a little careful in case, like, if something were to happen. But you get the sense, at least for your current intents and purposes, that it should be fine.
All right.
And as the three of you with a Festial still manning the helm work to accomplish the slowing of the ship, not only do you slow the ship, but you hear, "Lay anchor! Onboarding! Is it starboard or port? We're to port!" You can hear it coming from the other ship. Clear as day. As they too also slow down. And eventually, as the other one stops, there is a bit of distance between the two, but the boat that is nearest and oncoming has sort of turned itself and settled itself in such a way that, yes, it would require yelling, but you would be able to hold a conversation with those aboard. The boat itself is a little bit larger for it. It is a pretty standard fishing boat, but it is a little bit on the larger side. It's not like a tiny little rowboat. You notice there's only one mast, and aboard you currently see an individual, a human, seems to be humanoid, man in his mid like 30s or 40s. He seems to be very cleanly shaven, even like not necessarily full buzz cut, but like really short clipped hair, with a beard and sideburns. He seems to be wearing just a standard black shirt, sleeves rolled up, revealing some even from this distance, especially if you have the spyglass, a Festial, you can see some nasty scarring on his forearms. And he seems to be the one at this point barking orders. You also see a two other individuals at this current juncture. One who appears to be much younger, probably only a couple years older than like a coming of age, just barely an adult, with really black coily hair that's been pulled into a bandana with the bandana covering over it. They seem to be wearing a white shirt, a patch. When I say patchwork, this time the patchwork does not appear to be an indicator of poverty, but rather tasteful fabric work. Like it's something that has been carefully put together in good condition, of a red and purple, almost like overshirt, with no sleeves, black pants, leather boots, and they seem to be helping with the rigging. You also see another individual, this one also again humanoid, about mid 30s to 40s, with what appears to be like really, and this strikes you all pretty much as odd, as like sun blonde hair, pulled back into a ponytail. He's to be perfectly honest with you, currently shirtless, rocking a bit of a tan, and he appears to be also helping with the mast at this current moment in time.
Well, they seem
Oh,
friendly
there!
enough.
You hear the call from the other ship.
Lena would give a wave.
Are you heading inbound towards the Cauldron?
We are. Just curious, we may have decided to leave a little bit preemptively. Might you have any spare supplies we could purchase from you?
You watch as the youngest individual sort of shifts a glance over to the individual barking orders, who gives a nod. And they seem to scurry over to go grab something that you can't quite see. In the meantime, the individual yells, "Permission to board, sir."
Granted.
Will do. And you watch as, with that, the younger individual tosses over a plank and they begin to easily walk across, two of them, the younger and the one barking orders, to physically board on the ship.
Ophesio will go to meet them.
Yeah, they just enter on the top deck. The younger individual seems to keep a little bit off to the side, staying very attentive, as the older individual stands there, and he just kind of gives everybody like a once over. Razvan, Branson, and Ephestial, go ahead and roll me an insight check.
23.
11.
22.
This makes a lot of sense. Ephestial, you get the sense that he is definitely scanning the ship, but for what information specifically, you aren't entirely certain. For Branson and for Razvan, you get the sense that he is not only gauging quality of the ship, quite literally, like what is physically on, like, do you even have anything on the ship? And he's also gauging the capacity and capability of the crew. Like, he is casting judgment almost.
Roswell kind of shrugged. We have nothing really to prove.
Yeah, like once they're both off the plank, Branson just goes over to the main mast and just posts up with his arms crossed, trying to basically hide his scales, and just glances at this guy, being like, "You make yourself a problem. I will become your threat."
You don't get the sense that you don't necessarily get the sense that he is taking an offensive stance.
Well, it's less that he's just giving off that as like he doesn't know how to do like ship stuff. He just figures, I'm the big scary one. I'll be big and scary.
He keeps an eye, on the four of you, before noting both the owl and the raven. And yeah, he hears the story too, and he goes, "Is there a fifth?"
Yes, currently resting. They stayed up all night, keeping watch.
I see. You're a crew I do not recognize. Who here is captain or first mate, whoever might be available, A, and B, to what purpose do you sail the Cauldron?
That would be me. Call me Captain Omen. We are investigating a situation that I believe has pointed us towards the Cauldron.
And you came empty-handed?
Call us a little gung-ho, is all.
Inexperienced, more like. Perhaps we can make an accord. If you think that there is a quote-unquote situation that you must uncover, we can help you if you can help us. Perhaps information might be a fair trade.
Depends on what you need to know.
Come aboard our ship, the Lee Side Serpent, and you might just find the answer for yourself. And he sort of looks to the younger one, tilts his head as if giving like a follow me order, and proceeds to go back across towards their boat.
Go ahead, Captain. I will watch the ship. Why don't you take Branson with you?
Agree. Branson, come along. and he will walk over the board into the other ship.
Yeah, Brands will just wait until Ophestio gets ahead of him and then just take up behind him.
Oi, Rabbit. Yeah. Go ahead and get the crates. The crates, sir? You see the person he is referred to as Rabbit as they board the ship, being the third individual that you saw. Aye, get the crates. They might have some insight. Very well. That I can do. And the gentleman who, Ophestial and Branson, you now get a better look at him, and you can actually see his ears are pointed. He's not quite so human. As he heads below deck for just a moment, the first mate will, I spoiled it. The gentleman will turn around and say, I am the first mate of the ship. Boris Barak, to be precise. While we do just a little bit of fishing, we're one of the main fishing crew in all of Skald. As you can probably notice, we are a bit far out from where we would like to be. And if you're trying to investigate something in the water, then perhaps you might be able to give us some insight on where exactly we should be able to fish.
Really quickly, which one is Boris Barak? The like person barking orders, the muscly.
The person barking orders.
Yeah. Okay.
The person barking orders. The person that has been referred to as Rabbit is the elven
young attentive
question mark
individual. Yeah.
Yes, with the blonde hair. But Boris notes, we have been finding it more and more dangerous to go out and get fish, and with fish being one of our biggest imports, you can understand why that would be a problem.
On our way out here, have we seen any spots of water that hasn't been tainted in black spots?
You haven't looked.
But we do know that there's been some tainting back in Scaldway, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
We can't give you a...
You saw it.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. I was just gonna add the specific clarification of, like, not only did you see it physically on the docks, like the wood, but you did see it in the almost like foam of the river, bobbing up against the ships and boats that were there in the in the docks.
I'm gonna obviously, as an aside, like whatever did that wouldn't really need to taint the entire lake. If it's all over like the docks and all of the docks in the immediate waters, if any fish and crates get brought on shore, it's gonna get tainted.
Mm-hmm.
Does Lena just say that out loud?
Probably not now. This is this is
No,
Lena
I'm also
doing
good
nap.
I'm just clarifying.
From
I'm
Lena's
just
sleep.
clarifying.
Yeah, like, if I want to go, since I know... I'm pretty sure we are going against the tide for the lake. I would say that basically, like, from the Cauldron out, at least as far as the docks at Scald, we've seen patches of it, but we could not tell you if there's any safe spots. Probably past, oh, Captain, what was the name of that, isle, that other side of the lake that we went to go to? Or river? He's talking about where we were, like, when we caught the guys.
We were just across the river. I don't recall its name.
Well, about a few... Not that far outside of Scald proper. I would believe at least a little ways down river there, you might find something a bit fresher.
Part of our journey down the river is kind of what you might be interested in finding.
This is upstream.
Or upstream, my bad.
You're good.
I'm directionally challenged.
They made you captain. Interesting. Well, the downstream is where we started. We started heading downstream closer to Harmonia and found that the farther downstream we went, the more difficult it was to find fish that wasn't covered in rot. And it's at this point when the door kicks open and the shirtless gentleman that you now know as Rabbit walks out with what you see are crates of just, at this point, dead fish. And he sets them out. Hey, Captain. Got the crates just like you wanted. Perfect. We don't even know what exactly it is that's infecting our fish, but we keep seeing fish that go overnight from being perfectly fine to, and then he walks over with his bare hand, picks up a fish by the mouth, holds it up, and you both can just see the black spots that you recognize from the tail up the back.
Whoa.
Just like I'm checking something here. Does it look like the typical fungus that we've seen growing across? We have been running across this a lot lately. We are, as our captain said, investigating a possible source, and if we are able to deal with it, it might alleviate a lot of the cause. If anything, though, if you're willing to give me some time, I might be able to at least make this haul salvageable for profit. He just kind of gestures. He gestures at all the fish. And then he'll just go, if you will permit me, and he gestures at his hand. And he'll just have a spark fly between it, just showing, I have magic. I might be able to make something happen.
The moment that the spark flies from your hands, you watch as his eyes narrow. What is it that you're doing?
I have had to take care of myself for a long time. Making my own food non-poisonous and my water potable is a skill I can do anywhere, as long as I have 10 minutes time. It may be able to fight whatever it is that is permeating these fish. At least make them, now that they're dead, at least sellable.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Will do. That's a 10.
10. He continues to stare, his eyes narrowing. I'll have to check with the captain first. Don't want to mess any of his potential stock up without first getting an order.
Branson will just shrug and give like a, yeah, I get it, and looks over to his captain.
What we can tell you is that the condition of the river and the fish and most of Scald is of utmost concern of ours and my party. And if there's a potential source coming out of the cauldron, that's what we're there to find out. We are in business of trying to get rid of it.
A noble cause. I can't say that I trust you fully. You are clearly outsiders, but of course, who better to entrust to an investigation than outsiders?
We may be outsiders, but we do have some stake in this condition of Carticus as well. I'd like to think anyway.
He just kind of like lets air out of his nose a minute in like acknowledgement. Nevertheless, before I make any decisions or do anything forward, I'm sure my captain is going to have some questions for you. If you'll give me just a moment, I will go and retrieve him. And
Certainly.
the first mate then heads over towards what you assume is the captain's quarters, knocks twice, and steps inside, leaving the two of you with just the other two. The elven individual rabbit actually steps forward and says, I mean, I get that he's all like orders and rules and whatnot, but I mean, really, if there's anything else that you can tell us about. And he too picks up, again with his bare hands, picks up a fish, holding it up, gestures with the other hand, without touching it, gestures to all of the black spottage, and then sets it back in the crate. Go ahead for me as he's talking, Ephestial, roll me with advantage a nature check.
You get 16?
Here's what you immediately notice. You've been working on investigating this mold for quite a while at this point. Something that you notice is that, much like what you saw in the Wildersung Wood, with the black spots not only covering the fins and up the scales, but you notice that any liquid coming out of the mouth of this fish is inky and it's black. More than that, as your eyes go down to the full crate, you will notice the early signs of spread along the lip of the crate and down the frame of both crates. I'll tell you what, he says. I ain't the captain. I can't tell you what the captain's gonna say, but as a person who oversees all this stuff, our inventory and our food supply, what good it is, I, at the very least, would be happy to negotiate, even if they don't.
Well, I appreciate that, but it sounds like we're about to meet your captain anyway. Just out of curiosity, do you handle those fish while they're in that state a lot?
I mean, it's complicated. Try not to. But I am the person responsible for gutting them before we take them aboard or offshore. I can talk. It's fine. You know what I'm trying to say.
Those are hard.
Yeah, they are. Nah, I'm the guy who has to gut them, though, whenever we make them ready to sell. Unless we for whatever reason, might decide to sell them whole, which we've done before. But, and then whatever we keep for ourselves, yeah. Skin it. Gut it. Dehead it.
Have you noticed anything weird on the insides of these creatures?
Let me roll for him. Okay. Yeah, that sounds about right. What do you mean by weird?
Well, I mean, they're infected with this fungus? Has it spread to the inside? Is there any parts that are unaffected while other parts are? Anything that catches you is odd, unusual?
It's a fungus. I mean,
I
that in
believe
of
so.
itself is odd. Huh. Never heard of a water fungus before. I mean, I've only ever seen, like, as morbid as this sounds, the blood. Sometimes the blood turns black, but other than that, just the spots. I
And
also can't say that I've investigated them too much. A lot of times, whenever we see fish in this state, we don't keep them. Problem is, almost every single load we've caught in the past 3 days has just been like this.
well, I appreciate your insights. Nevertheless, if you would entertain me with another question, has it ever done anything to you personally? Have you noticed anything weird happening since you've come into contact?
Kind of tilts a head to the side. Like you've just asked him like a question he's never even thought to consider before. Almost like you've asked him something ludicrous. However, before he has a chance to open his mouth, you hear I don't mean to interrupt. However, I have seen things. And to your left, the much younger individual speaks up. It's, to be perfectly honest with you, the other reason why I'm here is I'm also looking, and I have seen things, terrible things, but not specifically with the fish.
If you wouldn't mind sharing, that would help us out a lot.
It's hard to say, because what I have seen has not been with animals. And forgive me, I'm a little hesitant to get into detail for sake of my family. But you seem reasonable enough. You see them like tilt their head back and forth, like trying to determine what they want to say. You see them pull out like a copper coin, they flick it up in the air, catch it, look to see if it's heads or tails. All right. Listen. All I have seen is not just in the fish. I have seen the spots on people. I have seen the spots grow from the feet all the way up to the knees. Watching as this almost blackish, sometimes almost white veiny, I can't even describe it, just locks up the joints. Like it's trying to weave in and out of the body, like almost like veins in one's skin.
If you don't mind me asking, where have you witnessed this?
To the north. Or at least we saw it where we last stopped before I left to go find answers. I don't know how much I should say. I don't think it would be wise. And there's like a moment where their eyes like narrow and harden, but they don't narrow at you. Their eyes shift over to Rabbit. And it seems like despite the fact that Rabbit doesn't seem to notice at all, the harsh expression is thrown in his direction.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I believe you. I almost had a run-in with the white veins myself. In fact, there was a little patch in Scald that I can only pray that everyone is avoiding.
In Scald?
Yes, on the wharf.
On the wharf? They seem like visibly distressed when you say that.
I don't mean to alarm you, but that's why we need to do this and handle this now.
Well, I don't know nothing about veins, but if it's on the wharves, that means it's not just in the water in Scald.
No, unfortunately, we've seen it all over. And, you know, perhaps this is why we left in such a rush. But I feel like time is of the essence right now in solving this problem.
It absolutely is. And before anyone else can get a word in, the door flings open. And out in a fully decorated black jacket, black like trench coat, honestly, walks out a much larger, bulkier man with a graying, like almost like peppered beard, which clearly hasn't been shaven in like weeks. We're not even talking like braiding or anything. It's just not. It's doing what it wants, really. The thudding of boots, of hard soles clank against the wood of the boat as this individual, same texture peppered hair tied back into a ponytail with a tricorn hat on his head, walks out. The both of you do notice that he is armed with a rapier at his side. And he looks more, I know, the stereotype of like the pirate captain. He doesn't look like a pirate captain, but he does look like a man who has a bit more coin to his person. And with the decorations, actually, both of you roll me a history check, probably with disadvantage.
Okay. That's a 9.
10.
With a 10, okay, this feels a little weird, but with a 10, the way that they're lined up, like, you don't recognize any of the patches or buttons or whatnot, but you get the sense that there's some type of, like, renown. Perhaps it's a title, perhaps it's military experience. You weren't entirely sure. You did see a city guard in Scald, so maybe it has something to do with that, but you don't, like, not even in your time in Scald, you don't recognize, like, a Scald symbol. You don't recognize the symbol that you saw the guardsman wearing. But, like, it seems like it should be some type of decoration of sort. I hear there's bargainers, traders on my ship.
That would be us. I'm Captain Omen, and this here is my companion.
Captain Omen. That's a name I've not heard. To what do I owe the pleasure, Mr. Omen? You may call me Captain Aegon.
A pleasure, sir. Um, I suppose you could call us researchers, if anything else. We were heading into the cauldron, on business of very time-sensitive nature, and, we, in our haste, ended up leaving a little unprepared.
You got a death wish or something? No one goes into the cauldron, especially not properly equipped, and gets out alive.
What can you tell us about it?
Well, that depends. For what reason should I just offer this information? What do you have to offer in return?
Perhaps other information that you might want? Perhaps gold?
I have no use for gold. If I want gold, I can simply sell. Gold is not what I need.
Branson will
'Cause
shake his head. Oh.
Nope, you go first.
Branson will just like nods at Ophestio, like being like, "Captain, can I talk?"
He'll nod at you.
Well, we can tell you how far inland this sickness has spread and where you'll find the bodies where they end up.
Bodies.
It takes a hold of them, and that makes people leave their senses. What they do in that time, we do not know. But well, the Miko Blau, the Miko Brow, what was it called?
The Meikle, are you referring to the berries? They're Meikle
Yeah.
berries.
Yeah. The Miko berries will grow very well this year as well. That is where a fair amount of people from out town, as far as, are being buried. People who have had this fungus growing beneath their floors.
I don't know necessarily what you're talking about. However, I get the distinctive sense that we're on two very different wavelengths. I don't care much about bodies. I don't necessarily care if this has anything to do with that. He sort of like strokes his beard, scratching his chin for a minute. That Bardic's conspiracy? I don't want anything to do with that. I mind my men. There's a pause. He looks over to the youngest on the ship. My crew. And I mind my fish, and I mind my boat. The politics of what's going on inland do not matter to me. And I would like to keep my hands completely scrubbed of anything that may be going on off deck on shore.
I understand. We really just flagged down your ship to see if you had anything worth trading for us, supply-wise, food especially. You were summoned because I believe your crew thinks that you might have any interest in what we've been researching, and that has to do with the rot that has consumed the waters and the fish.
Yeah, Captain. They said something about a fungus, a sea fungus. Well, it's not a sea, but like a sea fungus. Never heard of sea fungus before. You ever see a fungus? And at that, you watch as like all three of them shoot him, Rabbit, the dirtiest look. And he goes, all right, I'm sorry. Sorry. Jeez. A fungus,
Yes. We've seen it in many shapes and forms. I believe someone is bringing it out into the cities from somewhere that may be coming from the Cauldron or perhaps some other undisclosed place. We've received some information that pointed us in this direction, so that's why we're headed in there.
Then let me ask you this. If you're saying it's coming from the Cauldron, then it must be going downstream. We understood this much. How far in do you think it goes? Are we
I
talking?
can't say for sure.
Hmm.
If
Well.
the source is in there, then that's one thing we hope to find, as well as finding a way to get rid of it.
You plan to get rid of it.
Hopefully, yeah.
Pray tell how.
Well, that's why we're researching.
I'll tell you what. We'll offer you supplies. We'll give you food. Make sure that you can get to your destination. In return, you see our ship. You see our boat. Flag us down. I want to hear more about this sea fungus. See where else. Where's it coming from? And where's the water pure?
We shall with utmost haste, Captain.
He grunts, makes a nod at Rabbit, mutters something in a language you don't understand to Boris, then turns about and heads towards the helm. Well, if it's all the same to you, why don't we just get going? And Rabbit just kind of like, in that sort of way of like, come on, let's get moving, picks up the two crates with his hands, and starts heading down into the belly of the ship. I'm actually gonna pause us there. Lena and Razvan, I would like a perception check, and Clem, I would like a Constitution saving throw. Also, great seeing you two.
Think.
17.
Fifteen on the
15.
con save. Yep. And Lena?
I think Skelly said he had to step away for building issues real quick.
Okay. Okay. Then we will move forward and we will catch him up to speed when he gets here. Clem. The nap is successful. However, with the noise that's about, you find yourself being awoken up. Now, you do not have exhaustion. But you were able to get a short rest.
Yee.
You wake up. You are met by Omen looming over you, perched on the crow's nest.
Well, hello there, little one.
Hi.
Have we stopped? It feels like we're rocking less than we were.
We did. There's a fisher ship. We are saying hello.
Kind of lean over the edge. Oh, Captain! How goes down there?
Could I hear Clem from the other ship?
Oh yeah, you can. Even though you're
Okay.
heading like towards where the exit to the below deck is, you can still hear Clem.
He just looks up and salutes.
Clem, as you look over, you do see
at this current moment in time, what appears to be the elven individual that we above board know to be Rabbit. You see Boris, and you see an individual that you would recognize as Sasha.
What ship are they on? Are they like within?
They're currently on the fisherman ship. Fisher boat.
Sasha? Sasha, is that you?
You watch as the individual like perks up, like the name had not been called before by voice. Where is, and they seem to like searching about, cannot seem to find you.
I would I slowly climb down the rope with a little bit of as they're not the most dexterous individual before getting to the top deck. Looking around for whoever else is around on top deck.
On your top deck is Lena and Razvan.
Hello, you two.
Good time of day.
Morning.
It's like late morning, early afternoon.
Morning, noon.
I trust you got some rest.
A nice nap is always a good way to recharge after a long night. Thank you all for watching the ship as I rested.
Of course. The captain and Branson are over on the other ship making acquaintances with their ship and crew.
Well, first mate, and I kind of do a half bow at you. Permission to go aboard the other ship.
Granted.
Sasha, my dear.
Oh! Waves.
In Vistana, I would say, hello, how are you doing? How have you been? It's been so long. How's the family? You're out on the water now? I was not certain. I did not know you knew how to sail. As you all hear Clem just immediately go into another language.
Responding in that language, you would hear Sasha reply with, it's very difficult right now. As you probably have noticed, I am not home. The developments have been incredibly devastating. As a result, I am finding answers, and to your point, I am still learning. We've just mastered the rigging.
Well, you're further along than I. I'm still learning much of the aspects of ship life. This is only our first day out. You say you're far from the family. How is the wheel? Are they still traveling? How's the madame?
Madame is fine for now, but my father has been infected with something, and it's getting really bad. I'm hoping to find some more information, as apparently the source of the problem is closer to Skald.
Indeed, we've been kind of determining something similar. You say that your father is not doing well. We are investigating the same problem. Perhaps if we find something else, we can maybe see what we can do for you and yours. Is there somewhere we could find you? My companions here, I have not known them for long, but they are good type. And they seem intent on helping with the problems here.
I noticed. I gave them some information. I hope you understand that I have to be guarded.
Of course. Are you using a different name? Did I make a mistake?
No, it's just I did not want to give a location. Your captain asked for one, and I cannot give one. I'm sorry, you understand.
What about a
Giorgio
meeting
cannot.
place? What about some place we could maybe get on the trail for you if we needed to find you?
I will be aboard the ship until I get more insight. We, of course, found it in the fish. Of course, best place to investigate is where the ship takes us, where the fish are.
We are headed to a place, a cave somewhere along the waterside. It seems to be maybe a source of what is happening. I think if you head upriver of where that is, you may be free from the problems, the rot infestation. But we're going to determine if this cave is perhaps the source.
Okay. In terms of meeting place, then it might be best not to meet with And then Sasha just kind of looks around at the other two on the deck. He would
I
probably
see. You don't trust your crew quite so much.
shakes head. And they
Would you like to
actually, sorry.
join our crew?
It,
It's not my place to do so, but I could talk to the captain.
I'm. If I do that, we would have to do it without the two of them seeing. There's something. There's something about this ship. I could not tell you exactly what it is. However, the truth is that I don't trust the captain. I also do not trust there is something below deck. I could not tell you what it is, but I can hear it. I hear it
I
talking.
put
I
my
hear it
hand
walking.
on their shoulder, kind of like trying to calm them for a moment. I will look into this. I will look into this. And then in common, your friend does not look like they are feeling so well. Perhaps a little bit of the seasickness. And kind of like going in and out of Vistana. I'm an herbalist. I would be happy to treat them aboard, but my supplies are over here. Do you mind if they come aboard? Just asking whoever's on top of the other ship.
Granted.
I'm going to walk across, and as I walk across, I am going to, stumble, make a big show about it, and while that is happening, I'm going to have Omen land, like do a bit of a circle, try to land subtly, or go invisible in the air, land subtly on their ship, turn into a rat, and go below decks.
Okay.
So I'm going to be taking them aboard our ship. We're going to have Omen doing that, and I think we should check in on the others.
Yeah, speaking of Razvan on that 17, yeah, you hear something below deck.
Below their deck or ours?
Below your deck.
Alright. Razvan will head below decks. First to the mid deck.
You first immediately check your room. Go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
19.
19. Yeah, this makes a lot of sense. There shouldn't be a lot here, considering how little you have in belongings. You look up and down about the bunks, and you don't see anything in here. Carrying over that perception, though, you continue to hear creaking of almost like footsteps below you even still.
Alright. Razvan will head into the swain of the deck. Or the boat.
How stealthy are you?
Not, he's just walking.
You see an individual, not only boarded, they seem to enter the store. Like right as soon as you enter.
Razvan will follow.
You see an individual of what I can only describe as pallid disposition. they almost have a sickly look to them, bluish in tone in some areas. They're wearing what appears to be like almost like a charcoal gray shirt with a rather worn leather vest, breeches, and traveler's boots. And as they hear the door open, they turn about face, and you are met with the most piercing, brilliant green eyes you have ever seen.
Good afternoon. Are you lost?
Lost. It's been quite some time since I've been lost. Although I would ask you the same question.
Hey, considering I know what vessel I am on and why, I would ask you the same.
Well, I also know which vessel I am on and why, although I don't know the name of the vessel.
All right. You kind of will lean up against the doorway. Do you know my name?
It's been quite some time since I've said it. Razvan Fleur.
Then you certainly have me at a disadvantage. What would I call you?
You wouldn't.
An interesting name.
There's a big toothy grin as you see canines of a disproportionate size come down from below their lip as they reply, "It's been quite some time since I've been called that. Quite some time since I've been told that it is interesting."
Yeah. I do not recall the captain bringing on anyone to ferry across the waterways. May I ask what you are doing here?
Jumping ship.
Ah, I see. And where do you intend to go?
That all depends on where you're trying to get to.
We are going further into the Cauldron.
That sounds like a great and yet adventurous place to be.
You would be the first one to tell us so.
How far out have you gotten? Is this the first? It's been quite some time.
Roswan kind of trying to piece this individual together. Is he getting any indication of familiarity, or is this person...
100% you should
Okay.
recognize this individual. Something about the blue in the eyes and in the palms of their hands, at the corners of their lips. Something about the way that there is like white, almost whisker-like texture amongst the black. The fact that their right ear appears to be almost torn, and you see little white hairs coming out of the blue tip of that specific ear.
Wait. Juji?
It is a pleasure, my friend.
He's gonna drop all, like, manner of casualness and immediately
no.
rush to hug Juji.
It is a big squeezy hug. Like, very big, very squeezy. Claws gripping into your coat.
Oh my goodness, it has been what feels like ages since I have seen you last. Oh my, is this a new form? I like it.
This, I think the term that they prefer to use is and they kind of flick like a wrist, a glamour.
Ah. Well, you are certainly most welcome on our vessel, of course, but what were you doing on the other one?
Let's just say that I got into a little bit of a predicament and I needed to get away from it.
Ah. Well, are you hungry? Are you thirsty? I'm certain we have a little bit of cream somewhere.
My goodness, if I have the ability to eat something that isn't rotten fish, I would name your price anything, really.
Oh, no price at all. Please, follow me. And Razvan will escort Juji over to the mess.
Yeah, let me grab their token really quickly. By the way, the fact that you even have a ship is quite intriguing. I didn't expect that from the lot of you.
Believe it or not, while most people we have encountered here in Garthicus have been quite aggressive at worst and suspicious at best, we've actually met a few individuals who have been very kindly and of like mind.
Interesting. Interesting.
My thoughts exactly.
You'll have to tell me about your adventures at some point. When we parted ways, things got a little chaotic.
I don't think things have been normal since our arrival here, so it's been a constant state of, I suppose, chaos.
Fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. In a way, I don't know how to explain this.
It's like they're like actively stretching as they're like walking with you. Very like nonchalant.
Ross going to
It's
do everything
almost-
in his power not to say big stretch.
They continue.
I think it's a little weird to say this, and I hope it's not offensive, but the lot of you have been quite the omen, in a sense.
An interesting choice of words, all things considered, but could you elaborate?
Well, I mean, just before you arrived, let's say, how do I want to word this? Of course, there was the incident that happened in the one town that you had visited. But then, of course, as we traveled, there was the blight, and that was new. But then when I departed from your path and melancholy, it seems that my territory had been overrun, and I had to find a new place to live. I don't know if you realize this, Razvan, but I am not exactly a creature super fond of change.
I see. Well, as someone who is fond of change and ever growth of how things might develop and die or grow strong and thrive, I am one that happy for the change has brought us back together, even for just a moment.
Fair enough, my friend, my very poetic friend.
and you'll notice, by the way, that they're very tall and lanky. They hit at about 5'11" at their full height in this form, and they just kind of reach out and pat your shoulder.
Razvan is beaming.
And as you go to scrounge the kitchen area, that is where we're going to pause you, and we're actually going to cut back briefly over to the captain and Branson. Unless either you or you, Leah, have something you would like to do immediately.
I think the stuff with Omen is going on in the background,
Sure.
and we can catch up to that whenever you feel is appropriate. And in the
So-
meantime, I'm just using an excuse to get Sasha aboard.
Sure. So the thing with Omen, to be perfectly honest with you, is going to be happening in the background, as in like at the same time as Ephestial and Branson.
Yeah, no,
just for your
that
information.
makes perfect sense to me.
So
I just have a pair of eyes down there while they're doing that.
you certainly do. You certainly do. So the duo of you head down, and you are taken first into a storage area. It is not the hull of the boat. And
the two of you are led into what I can only describe is like almost like a maze of boxes, barrels, crates, and shelves. Branson, there's an uncanniness to this scene. It doesn't quite feel like what you witnessed um, in the dream that you had, but there's something about it that feels very similar. And as the two of you descend into the middle of the room, Rabbit will stop and will turn to face you both and ask, all right, so I'm assuming if you have nothing aboard your ship, that you're going to need probably more than just food. I mean, food, yes, but you're probably going to need more than just food. Is there anything else you need while we're here on our way to the kitchen?
Now I'm trying to think above game. Branson,
You can talk about it
Yeah.
as like if you need to talk about it above game, you are more than welcome to do so.
I'd say Branson will at least ask for like a 10-gallon vessel, so that way, if we need potable water at any time, we can just create food. We can just create food and water like he used to do.
Lena pointed out that you have 2 barrels of water.
Okay, I forgot that. Then
They are hard sealed too, so, and they didn't seem to have any stuff with them.
Okay, then if we have that, I'm trying to think because I am not one of the people in this call with a ton of sailing knowledge, just basic knowledge. Well, probably we left any of our actual rations, or at least most of them, back at the inn. So we probably need at least that, at least a few days of that. Then we'd probably also need at least some waterproof paper, or at least a waterproof map. That's just me if anyone wants to throw in here.
I mean, I'm not anticipating anything too crazy, so I think that should be more than enough.
Yeah, the only thing Ophestia was made aware of is stuff that was structurally in need that we can't deal with at the moment. Lena and Branson spent more time below deck, so
I think it was determined at some point, not this journey, but at some point it'll ropes will need to be replaced and certain boards will need to be repaired, but not this journey.
That is also what I recall.
Mm-hmm.
That is correct. So, I reopen the question in character. Is there anything else that you need besides food at this time?
Do we have board and nails?
You do not.
Then I would probably suggest getting board and nails if we need to make any spot repairs.
Do you perchance have anything that we might be able to make quick fixes with, if need be?
Yeah. Yeah. Hold on. And you watch as he there's something almost frantic about, despite his lackadaisical and very laid back demeanor, there's something about his movements that almost feel very frantic as he traverses the maze that is this ship. And he actually comes back with a few things. He comes back with 3 full length. It is a full length boards. Each of them are about 20 feet in length, or I'm sorry, 10 feet in length. I can do math. 10 feet in length, and they are the 2x6s. and they seem to be in relatively good condition. Epheskiel, if you want to go ahead and give it a nature check with advantage.
It'll be a 23.
Yeah, natural 20. So one of the first things that catches your eye is a lack currently of mold or rot on these boards. And I thought, if you don't even have things to repair it with, he holds up a set of carpenter's tools.
Branson will hold out his
this
hand
is
for
a-
that. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, he hands it to you and he goes, "This is our spare. Don't tell anybody." But it's not like we've used it. I mean, we have our own main set. We haven't used this in I don't know how many trips. So I'm sure no one's gonna notice it if it's gone. Not really sure if you needed anything else from this part. If not, we can head over to the kitchen.
If Ophistiel
I
doesn't say so,
believe-
then good.
Huh?
I was just gonna say Branson listens to his captain, so if Ophistiel says so, yeah.
I believe that will do us just fine, thank you.
No problem. While they are heading over to the kitchen area, let me have Omen roll me a survival check.
All good?
Oh.
Yeah.
I did not realize I was still muted. My apologies.
Oh, you're good. You're good. You're good.
Could you roll me for Omen in a survival check?
I would be happy to. My apologies. I was like, yeah.
You're good.
Yeah.
You're good.
This for Omen survival, it's just their wisdom then.
Okay. So interestingly,
Omen picks up two things. Number one, fresh scratch marks on the wooden floor, and there's I'm using survival very very distinctively here, instead of perception, because there is the smell. This is going to sound so terrible, but it's true. Of the pheromone smell of when a animal has marked its territory.
I think we would kind of react to that, like, pull away from it, but Omen not really too bothered by that. Will while being a rat, will kind of haunch onto two legs and mark the same spot.
that's petty. I love it.
Yeah, it is what they would do.
That is what they would do. It's petty and I love it.
Yeah. So as you continue to skitter about this storage area, Omen keeps finding spots like that where there's scratch marks on the frame of the ship and into the wood, and then spots where they can just smell the pheromones.
Mm-hmm. They would be listening out for anything in particular because Sasha mentioned a sound. I heard something down there, so they would be like trying to see if there is a sound or anything like that. But if they don't hear anything, they would just kind of loosely be following Epheskiel and
I was going to
Branson.
say right now it's a little difficult because you're hearing the conversation, right?
Yeah, I figured. That makes sense.
So, speaking of, the door opens to this kitchen, and what you saw of empty and vacancy in your own ship looks to be very well stocked in abundance. In some barrels, you see
some type of fruit or vegetable. It's got like a reddish, pinkish ombre around this round skin of its of the size of the food item, which is about the size of like a softball. Each individual one is somewhere between the size of a baseball and a softball. You see multiple bags that you can only assume probably have grain in them, as well as a couple of additional crates that have like different types of other like vegetables, other plants. You see hanging up over top of their oven area, or the stone top that they sort of do their cooking from. You see meats hanging out. You would both recognize that this is probably what you're looking at is probably some sort of like um, drying or jerkying sort of process. But at this point, he kind of Rabbit kind of turns about face, opens both arms, and goes, "Well, before we get caught, what can I do you for?" Oh, you know what? I also forgot. Do you have anything? This is gonna sound a little weird, but as a trade for a trade, you wouldn't happen to have any spices on your person, would you?
I don't believe we do.
I think we know someone who would have some spices. I'd have to ask them.
Just thought it might be nice to trade for trade, but if you don't, it's not a problem.
If you will allow me, Captain, I can go call for them. It'll be but a moment.
Please.
And Branson will just try to go above deck and try to call for Clem and possibly see them.
Clem is top deck, right?
Top deck, correct.
Yep, Clem is right up there on the top deck.
Oh, you're already here. Clem, do you have any herbs and or spices that can be traded?
Oh, hello there, Master Branson. Well, I'm running a little low, but I do have mostly herbs. Most of my spices are in the kitchen at home, but I do have some herbs. They're usually the ones I use for, well, herbalism purposes, but they do. I have some thyme, some rosemary, a little bit of lavender.
Then whatever you can spare. Branson just starts pulling out small like vials from the various like little like kits he has. He just like hands them to you. Just give as much as you can, and we will see what we can barter.
Oh, I will take these to refill, and I'll kind of open my herbalism kit, and I will pull out a little like a kind of like a spice bottle of basil, thyme, and rosemary. These are what I can spare. I have plenty of these. I usually use them for taste in my herbalism things, not really for effect. I hope these will suffice.
That is what they are being traded for. So yes, you are being very helpful. Does he notice that you seem to be tending to Sasha?
Yeah, I have Sasha on our ship right now, and I currently seem to be like I have my mortar and pestle out, and I'm like mixing something.
All right. If they have something that you can't cure, let me know. I have it prepared today. He'll just say it's like he
it's
gestures.
mostly for nausea, right? Right, dear?
Yeah.
All right, then I'll leave you to it as he just goes back down and heads back towards Rabbit.
Sure thing. In the meantime, Ephestial, what foods would you like? You have 5 different fruits and or vegetables to pick from. They're kind of all a mystery to you, even with a nature check. You don't recognize any of them.
And you do not see any meekleberry here because you do know what that looks like. But you do recognize grains for grains and rice for rice. And you do recognize, even if you don't know what meat that is, you do recognize jerky when you see it.
He definitely will take some meat, for Branson's sake. Some grain, probably rice over bread.
Mm-hmm.
As for the fruits, instead of immediately picking one, he'll kind of like hover over them and smell them to see if any of them smell better than others.
So the first one that I mentioned, this fruit that seems to be like out in the open, it smells very acidic. Sweet, but very acidic. Kind of like sniffing like a lemon or a lime. You also see there's like imagine a zucchini squash, but it's like its skin is like a brownish red. It doesn't really have a smell, but it's got that kind of like gourd-like shape. The vine and it's got that thick skin. You also see these like vine fruits. They appear to be like they look very much like grapes, but coloration wise, they almost have like a bluish white exterior. You see, I'm just gonna tell you this. It's like corn. It's just like corn, but it's not corn that you've ever seen before. Um, where the kernels kind of have more of a like a red to them rather than like a yellow. And the last thing that you see, um, imagine like a broccoli or a cauliflower plant, but again, instead it's like the stem is like a brown, and then the seed tops are like splotches of white, yellow, and green. And the only one that really has a smell is the big softball sized fruits, and then the vine fruit has a very it's a very mellow sweet smell. It doesn't smell super sugary. It almost smells like honey tastes, but like a little less sweet.
Okay. He will take some of the vine fruit, knowing that the acidic fruit is probably going to help them, health-wise. We'll probably take some of those, but not a ton. And a couple of the squash-looking
Sure.
fruit.
I
vegetables.
think for the sake of if we're talking like rations, go ahead and we'll say you have like I should ask, how many rations worth do you want?
That's a good question. I know he would probably want to take the bare minimum just out of respect. We can still use some of our own rations to kind of pad food out.
Okay.
He is unaware that more bodies are on our ship now, though.
Yep.
So just considering what the
It's fine.
five
Ross almost started.
Yeah. Taking one for
No.
the team. Okay, so there's 5 of us, and then maybe 10 rations, 15
Okay.
between
That's
everything.
10 that's that so it's a ration per day technically.
Yeah.
So that's 10 days worth.
Oh, 10 days? I don't think we
Yeah,
need
a
that much.
ration.
I was
A ration
in my
is
head
good
I'm
for a
thinking
full
like
day.
2 or 3 days worth. I was thinking for 5 for all eat like one
Yeah,
per-
no, rations.
ration
I've
per
learned.
person.
Oh, I was gonna say rations are a little weird because
Okay.
it's technically like a full ration for a day. But to that point, so if you're getting 5 for 3 days, you would get probably a solid, let's go with 8 of the squash, because they're not small. They're pretty easily you could use one for more than a couple servings. I'm gonna go ahead and say you're gonna want 10 of the citrus fruit. Of the vine fruit, I'm just gonna tell you that you get a pound. And then he gives you like a whole 5-pound sack of grain of rice. So it's a little bit more than what you asked for, but
And meat for Branson.
yep.
He's gonna give you. It's not gonna be much, but he is going to give you, effectively 3 days worth of meat, jerky meat. And it's at that point when Branson, you arrive, and Omen also arrives.
Branson.
Squeakums.
Branson probably won't notice Omen knowing not to look for them, and then just being like, walk over to Rabbit.
Omen is invisible, so that's...
Okay. Then he walks over to the Rabbit. Here's what our ship's doctor, in terms of ingestible herbs, they will make stews better. And he just hands over the 3 vials.
We've been running a little low on basil, so this is good.
Some staples.
Not too shabby, not too shabby. He turns around.
You watch as he reaches into a one of the baskets that's it's filled to the brim with you're really not sure what, a bunch of earthy things. Picks up what appears to be kind of like a root, chops off like a chunk of it, like a good hearty chunk of it, places it in a little bag, reaches over to what appears to be like a dried vine that's kind of hanging from the ceiling, plucks off 5 leaves from it, puts it in the bag as well. And then you see some sort of like orange powder. He takes a vial of it and pops it in the bag too, turns around and holds it up. Hopefully this will be a fair trade. Some staples for some staples.
Oh, I feel it's already more than a fair trade, considering you're really helping us out.
Well, considering what the captain said about you meeting up and giving us more information, it's kind of one of those, like, consider this like a down payment, right? Also, the herbs spice thing, that's for me personally. I like to keep a variety in my stock, and since clearly you all aren't from Scald, I thought you might have, something different to spice things up a little bit. You can just feel the bad humor radiating off of this person. And every single time a really bad joke happens, I say this for flavor, not actual, you can feel the psychic damage happening.
Branson is in hell, but he is trying to stay stoic for the sake of my captain.
He's giving him like a pity grin on the bad humor. But Ophestial actually will speak again in Elvish to Rabbit.
Okay.
We sincerely appreciate your patronage, friend.
Ooh. I see someone of the
of the ancestry. That's very fascinating to me. He replies to you in Elvish, may your winds be fair, and though uncommon in these lands, may the sun find its way upon your back. Don't be a stranger. I can't speak for anybody else on this ship, but as far as I'm concerned, we're brothers. And he gives you a wink.
At this rate, finding any more kind of like ourselves is more of a treat than anything else. Take care.
100%. You too. He offers you like a salute. It's not like a salute you've ever seen before, but it sure is like very clearly a salute. And as the two of you make your, I'm assuming the two of you make your way back.
I was just gonna say Branson would then again just offer to be like, do you want me to attempt to make the fish edible? Because he can just spend 10 minutes ritual casting, like, purify food and drink, and see if that works on the fish.
You know what? Don't tell the boss. Go for it.
Branson just walks between all of the crates of the fish, holds out his hand, and you can feel like it almost EMP pulse over the span of like 10 minutes as he's just trying to fry the fungus out of the fish.
And for 10 minutes. Oh, for 10 minutes. Are you ritual casting it?
Yeah.
Okay. So for 10 minutes, you're gonna do that. You see Rabbit it's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna cover for you, and he like weird, almost dad jogs over to the entrance. In the meantime, Almond, welcome to the kitchen. Roll me a perception check.
Omen has the little like fly hands rubbing together, just the looking around. Perception, you said, correct?
Yeah, perception this time.
Same roll. Same roll.
Same roll! Yeah. So first off, oh my gosh, there's so much food in here. And it's very obvious that they keep their food separate from something that I didn't really bring up, but like all three of you would have noticed, they don't really keep the quote unquote stock in the same place as they keep their own food. And as a result, like one thing that Omen has noticed around the storage area and around the kitchen, no current signs of black spotting at all. At least not here. Omen also in this perception check would notice, yes, all of the things that I described before, but would also notice there's a little trail on the bottom of like grains that have clearly been like someone picked it up and took it off. And Omen, in following this trail, finds a mouse hole with no mice.
Omen is going to become, at this moment, with the no mice, with the scent, with the claw marking, is going to become intensely aware that there is a ship cat. And in order to avoid any uncomfortable circumstances with said ship cat, while invisible, will take their true form.
Incredible. They're here. They're in the kitchen.
Yeah, and kind of crack the knuckles a little bit, flex the wings, kind of walk over, grab a bag, a satchel of some kind, and just start bagging anything that looks really tasty.
There are a couple ways that you can do this. It depends on you, Leah, how in control of this or how random you want this to be.
Oh, this is all random. But Clem has no control of this. Clem is paying attention to Sasha. This is just Omen given free reign for a minute and kind of leaning into their own nature.
Roll me first and foremost a D100.
You got it. $70.
Oh
Damn,
my
one off.
gosh.
One off.
So you, for a 70, so there, you notice a couple, I mentioned the one dried vine. There are several, and they look different. One of them, you would note, has like a very brown sort of like, and you'll notice they're all dried, right? Like nothing is alive here. It's all dried. This is all like clearly prepared for eating. But it is a windy, wrangly brown stalk with little branches and vines that peep out that have star-shaped 5-leaf ends, where the leaves, although you can tell are dried, have red splotches on them. Roll me a d4.
Two.
Add 2 vines of, or two processed and dried assassin's vines to your inventory.
Nice.
Roll me one more D100. $37. Roll me a D6.
$5.
You find 5 medium-sized, they are mushrooms, however, Omen would recognize that these are not like the poisonous and like consuming ones that you've been seeing out and about outside. These are like white cat mushrooms, but they're larger. They're like you could hold one with both hands, and you get 5 of those.
Omen literally just like dumped a potato sack out and is just like throwing all this into that.
Yep. And the last thing that you get is you get 2 star fruits.
2 star fruits. Lovely.
And that is what you are able to smuggle.
Omen would do like one more quick like little like look down in the lower area for anything that is like, you know, because we almost supposed to be looking out for like something suspicious down here, but at this point they're just like, yeah, there's probably nothing, and they're just grabbing anything that looks useful, and then they will just literally walk up the stairs while invisible before taking flight and flying back to the ship.
And in this moment, as we all reconvene, I'm actually going to pause us here for a break.
Hell yeah.
Break time.
Sounds good to me.
Yee.
What? Mega Man said? No. Turns into a spider or a raven and a rat and has a true form with wings and hands and can go invisible at will? Definitely not. Definitely not. That'd be weird.
I'm going to step away for just a second. I'll be right back.
Now here's the better question, Leah. Are you using vanilla or are you using the flavored imp mechanics that come with 5e?
Yeah, that's the question now, isn't it?
I'm so glad as someone who rolled this running my Fiendish Huntmaster like Ranger, which one of the only things they get starting out is they get either an imp or Quasit Familiar. And I was just like, yeah, no, they stay invisible on his shoulder. No reason.
Don't worry. I'll be honest with you. I don't mind sharing this. I, as Clem, I left that up to Saris. 100% up to Saris. I said, Saris, this is what I'm gonna do. This is like the flavor. We talked about it. But anything beyond that, I do not know.
Fair. I literally was given the chance of, when I was writing, I was like, my friend Tart was doing the game, and I was just like, Tart, can I do this, or do you want me to just do this? I can do either. He was like, no, this seems interesting. Fuck it, let's ball. And so that's what happened.
But I love my little guy.
Yeah. I loved having my own little, like, comedy, like, coward straight man on my shoulder who's just constantly like, boss, what we gotta do? You shut up.
I'm running with the Clem is carried by Omen. Clem would be so useless without Omen. And I love the when the familiar is more useful than the actual person. It's one of my favorite tropes.
The Ratatouille of D&D.
Kind of a little bit.
But yeah, glad everybody's having fun, enjoying our little intership meet and greet, and wondering how many of the NPCs we will adopt and or kidnap. Though to be fair, one's already adopted us multiple times, so we can't get rid of them.
I love Juji.
I know.
I am very excited to potentially interact with Juji as Clem.
Yeah, no. I am in the dichotomy of the player loves Juji, and how dare they be that attractive in Ceres' art. But Branton will immediately be like, a friend. Oh, wait a second, he remembers traveling with Juji. Excalibur face. Oh, Ceres with their... oh, I love you, Ceres. I love you. Not even. They are just pretty.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, that's not monster fucker enough, Ceres. That's more like Anthro Catboy. Which, like, I'm not complaining.
Yeah, no, it's a feature, not a bug.
I love me Catboy Twink. Well, I mean, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, though I will step away because for once I'm actually hydrating while I play a game, so I need to actually step away.
Well, welcome to the Skeletal Alpha halftime show.
Yeah, it's your boy. I unfortunately don't have Twitch open right now because I'm currently tethered on my phone.
Oh no,
Because
everything okay?
the storm didn't knock out the power, but it knocked out the net.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, I have really good tethering, but I can't have Twitch open, unfortunately, and Roll20 at the same time.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Discord at least functions perfectly fine, and I have an Obsidian doesn't use the internet.
Gotcha.
I actually didn't know that.
I see. I am somebody who just...
tracks.
Yeah, that tracks. Meanwhile, I was also just, like, the entire Saved by the Spellcast, like, last night after, like, we wrapped. We're just like, hey, we all kind of want to stay awake. What do we want to do? Well, it's Halloween time. Let's watch Batman vs. Dracula. And the minimalist of, this is a really good Dracula that a series that already gets dunked on doesn't get enough appreciation for. So we were all just like, Yeah, no, we're for this.
I mean, I love me a good 1990s Keanu Reeves.
Oh, the second you said that, I just went to that one line read of his. Sir! Oh, how do I not own that DVD?
I watched Bram Stoker's Dracula as a child. I know what butters my biscuit.
No, Booyah. Saris is shitposting at us in our call text.
Sorry, I had to go and grab myself a snack so I wasn't having the gurgles while DMing. But no, for the context for the chat, I had explained that there's a specific brand of monster fucker that I was thinking of when I decided to paint their glamour. And that is specifically as described by my friend, who I want to point out described it this way because she was calling herself out. She was calling herself out.
Valid. I feel like the distinction is, so there are modern monster fuckers, which are like down for eldritch entities, and then there's like monster movie monster fuckers.
Right.
And
right.
that's what you were going after.
Exactly. And she was just like, you specifically went for the throat of anyone who loves 80s vampire or werewolf flicks. And I went, yeah. That's exactly. I know what I'm about.
It's very Lost Boys of you.
Right? Yeah.
I just wanted to throw that out there. On one side you have H.P. Lovecraft, on the other side you have Anne Rice, and I love that I'm somewhere in the middle.
Uh-huh. Although I would like to think that well, don't get me wrong, Anne Rice does a good job. But I'm not gonna lie, I have my personal thoughts and opinions about Anne Rice.
Fair.
I feel like there are better comparisons to make.
To be fair, I was mostly walking with Broad. I've only actually ever read in form of horror media the original Frankenstein, the original Dracula, and prefer Dracula because I like procedurals.
So we talking like Herzog? Is that what you're going for?
A little closer, yeah. A little closer, yeah.
Werner Herzog Nosferatu.
But I was sitting on that when I made that portrait. I was like, either they're gonna know immediately or they're gonna have no idea. And I have no idea which one it's gonna be. Either way, it's gonna be hilarious.
Yeah, it hit me mid. I was trying to find a gift to like say how attractive they are, and then I saw the color scheme, and you saw my reaction in real time.
What I loved, I'm just gonna say this. I don't care. I'll just say it. I love the fact that that Zan said verbatim the exact same line that they said the first time that the party met Juji. I felt so accomplished. I was like, yes, we get to do it again!
It also happened in an episode of a coin flip. Serendipity.
Mm-hmm. Listen, I know what I'm doing.
But yeah, no, just thinking about all of the, like, moving parts that could randomly interact, like, just between these two boats, I'm having a great time.
I'm glad.
Also, excuse me while I'm changing some things up. I've recently upgraded my stream setup, so I'm switching between things. Like, once Tuesday comes around, I don't have any streams to be a part of or I'm doing, I'm going to start also trying to hook up some wireless elements to it. So I'm basically now just in between like builds. I'm still just like, I've got my Stream Deck running again for the first time in forever.
I don't even know what a Stream Deck is.
You'll learn soon enough, we'll teach you. I joke, but again, with our friends group, you're probably going to get taught it, if not gifted one.
Maybe at some point. Currently I'm like from what I understand, it's something that allows you to just like autonomously control your stream, and I'm just like I don't. Do I need that? Is that a necessity?
It's basically for if you're running if you want to do multiple things. Like also you can't alt tab out of something constantly, so you can press something, it'll auto do a process. Like for me, it's changing all of the scenes. It also runs the music, so I just add a press of a button, and it'll pair with whatever like streaming software you're using, either Slobs or OBS.
Got it.
And you can also get the very small one, like if you're just starting out, which is only like I want to say 12 buttons, which is I want to say like $60, which is pretty reasonable. Though I would say Mark is someone better to ask about this. Like, I know he works with one a lot.
Yeah, I hear the term Elgato Stream Deck thrown around.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why are we talking about cats?
So, funny story, I believe, wasn't that what that was why we had to do the run at Anime Detour to help save the setup with Mark, right?
Yeah.
It's because like the stream,
Yup.
he forgot a Stream Deck that was pre-programmed with stuff.
And yeah, it was basically either that or way overpay someone to go buy a Stream Deck and deliver it. So I was just like, you know what? No, I'm glad. I drove all the way up here. I am helping my friends, and now I'm helping the reason why I drove up here. Couldn't be better.
Alrighty. Checking in. Is everyone here? I've finished consuming.
Yup. I'm set to go. Also, apologies for the disappearance earlier. As I mentioned in chat, I have one of the only maintenance keys to the building, and they had to get to the net box.
Not a problem. Not a problem. I'm sure we will quite literally fill you in shortly. Your return is honestly really great timing.
But yes, I'm here.
Skelly here, Vaughn here. Leah, you still here?
Bah.
Kaz, you here?
Yeah.
Zan, you here?
Duh.
Ready to keep going?
Duh.
Alrighty.
Bah.
Bleh.
It's bleh.
So, we're gonna first, I know that I said we would reconvene as a whole group, but first, before I forget, below deck on the ship, who needs an updated name, Razvan, you are able to find, while it is not much, you are able to find some of the leftover rations from your first meal this morning.
Alright, you will happily hand it over to Juji.
Juji will sit on the table, very cat-like, in the kitchen, and will proceed to eat it right then and there. They are thoroughly enjoying the meal. You can see them doing like a little bit of a happy dance. Their
Cross one
eyes.
behind them.
Yeah! their
You said they
eyes.
sat on the table. Are they like Slav squatting on the table, just like putting food in their mouth? Or they like sat at a seat at the table, just for the sake of
They're
my own visual?
sat on the table. So like they're sitting, their butt is on the table.
Got it. Got it. Cool. Cool. Cool.
Yep. And they are just like doing a little jam in their seat. Their eyes are closed. Like they're thoroughly enjoying this meal. There's no need to roll or anything. You can tell that this is probably the best meal they've had in like a minute. Ah, so good to have nourishment. Oh, do you know how
Indeed.
difficult it. Sorry.
No, it is quite alright.
Do you know how difficult it is to find food in the wilderness that isn't tainted right now?
Has it spread that far?
Well, I couldn't tell you necessarily, but I'd been. I don't want to say following your trail. That isn't accurate at all, but I've been. Yes, Leah, that's correct. I have been making my way to Scald since the events broke out in Melancholy that happened.
I see.
I usually don't travel up that far, but like I said, I turned around, started heading back, and I was met with wolves. They wouldn't leave my territory, and I wasn't about to go and fight them for obvious reasons. So I turned around and came back.
I fear a fair precaution. But you seem to have gathered yourself well and safely outside of that situation. What brought you to
Yeah.
the sea? Or the lake, that's the one.
Again, I got to Melancholy, and that was melancholic, so I naturally followed the road to the next best place where I could potentially find a place to lodge. I'm searching for a home, as it were, but unfortunately the wolf problem never stopped. Nor did the blight problem.
See. Well, if only there was some form of Meistersinger or governing body to assist in such a terrible event to happen to these, I suppose, woods?
It's one of those things where I feel as though the Meistersinger of Melancholy might have had their hands a little too full.
Too full to help their own people.
Yeah. Because they were helping them with a different situation. And
Interesting.
to be perfectly honest with you, I am not entirely certain just how bad it's gotten. See, Melancholy particularly thrives on imports and outports, besides their own little bit of farming and harvesting, but a lot of what they get from trade. So it's easy to feed your people if the food you're getting isn't rotten. The flaw in the system, of course, is that doesn't exactly work in long-term situations, but that's not my problem. Not mine to solve, not mine to figure out.
Indeed. Something that does surprise me, though, is that it doesn't seem like there are many people that can adjust or answer, or at the very least investigate the situation.
Right.
Well, I can't speak much for Scald. But my guess is the reason for that is because anyone who could have is either left or disappeared, Melancholy.
Ah, rather convenient timing, no?
Quite.
Well, I suppose, considering the fact that we have stumbled upon mystery upon mystery upon mystery, hopefully we'll find some sort of connective tissue between the two. But for now, we are on a form of mission to try and find the source of the rot.
That would be really good. Not
Indeed.
having any more rot would be really nice.
However, that will bring us rather much closer, I would suspect, towards the source of, well, what has been ailing you. I do not know if this ship, as much as I would like to see you remain aboard, would be the safest place for you.
There's like a blink. Like a double blink with a grin.
I don't think safety is the biggest issue. You all protected me before, and
Reach into their pocket and pull out. It is a singular dagger, but it is a dagger.
I also can, at the very least, keep the ship company, if necessary.
Of course, I would not say no to your assistance. Simply want to make sure that you know what you are getting into if you choose to remain.
You know, I'm gonna be entirely frank with you, Razvan. I get the distinctive feeling that danger follows you wherever you go. That's why I referred to you as an omen.
Are there many places that would be considered safe within Garthicus?
That's fun.
See? So it's not so much that danger finds us everywhere we go, it's that we find danger everywhere we go, because Garthicus is the dangerous place.
Yeah, fair point, fair point. But, nevertheless, like I said, can keep your ship company. And if, of course, anything smells weird, I can always alert it to you before it takes root.
Oh, that would be very kind of you, of course. That being said, you should probably head topside so that the others can know of you. Or do you want to wait down here until we leave the other ship?
My ears detected that you were first mate, so I'm gonna let you call the shots on this one.
My point is your presence aboard the other ship going to go unnoticed?
They didn't know I was there to begin with. I was a stowaway.
Ah,
But they might notice that their ship is short a few rats.
I see. Well, considering the captain did say that we only had a certain number of crew, perhaps it would be best for you to stay here, lest we have to explain something further. I will come retrieve you the moment we leave the area.
That sounds like a plan to me.
And Razvan will take off his hat and give a very stage-like bow before leaving his hat with Yuji.
They put it on.
Hell yeah. Razvan's gonna return to the upper deck, again, fucking beaming.
And hatless.
And hatless, that's fine.
As you return, so to do a Festial and Branson. Clem is sitting there with Razvan. It's an individual you don't recognize too much. It's the one of the crewmates from the other ship. And of course Lena is there as well.
I see. Are we taking more individuals aboard?
They are not feeling well, considering that they did not have medical care on their ship. I was going to ask you and the captain if we could perhaps take them so I could care for them here.
I suppose it is up to their captain and ours. But I see no problem with it.
Rosvan, roll me an insight check.
I give Sasha like a comforting squeeze on the shoulder in that moment. We kind of make eye contact with each other before I stand up and go looking towards the Festiel.
Okay. Let's see. You said, sorry, insight?
Mhm.
17.
So this is the look of someone who is definitely trying to keep themselves like composed and potentially even trying to put on the act of quote unquote being sick. But you start to read the room a little bit and get the sense that this is someone who is trying to sneak off the other boat.
I'm actually even going to make it a little bit more obvious. I'm going to roll, if that's okay with you, Sarah, so
Sure.
persuasion check. Where I'm saying what I'm saying, but I'm trying to imply to Razvan that, like, hey, I want to get this person on this ship.
Mm-hmm.
17.
Yeah. Yeah. 17 beats it, so yeah.
Roswan will now understand and just give like a knowing and understanding nod. I will see what I can do to convince the captains of such an agreement.
Much obliged. Your way with words far exceeds mine.
I rather doubt that, but I will do what I can.
In the
And
meantime,
Rosvan will head over to the other ship.
sure. I mean, the dock is the board is still...
Gangplank.
Yeah, gangplank. Thanks. I kept forgetting the word.
That's all right.
The gangplank is still laid out. You're able to cross it, no problem. You see currently the first mate at this point has stopped standing at attention and is now currently actually messing with the rigging. It seems to be doing a check of it.
Excuse me, I am the first mate of the vessel that is docked across, or boarded across. Would I be able to speak to your captain for a moment?
You gotta eyes you a moment. Roll a persuasion check.
15.
He gives like a head tilt, like a follow me, and leads you to the captain's quarters where he knocks twice and calls out, "Captain, the first mate of the other vessel would like to speak to you." You don't hear a response. However, you do hear the groaning and creaking of wood until eventually the door swings open and the captain gestures for you to step inside.
Okay. The captain will step aside. Or the captain. Roswell will step aside.
Okay. The captain quarters are not lavish. I mean, it is what you would expect. There is a study area. You see a handful of different maps, parchment, a lantern that's currently lit with a candle inside. You see a couple of trunks and dressers, obviously a place to sleep, but there's not much there. But nevertheless, he takes a seat and he gestures for you to take the only other chair in this room. And
Roswell, not thinking of it, will do so.
okay. And he sort of like sits back in the chair, very comfortable, exuding this almost commanding presence, even though he's almost relaxed, but you can already tell, like, it's not like he's got his guard down.
Right.
You wish to speak to me?
Yes, I wanted to bring up a potential concern and offer a sort of plan, as it were.
I'm listening.
It would seem one of the members of your crew that know of ours. There's unfortunately something that we have noticed before in relation to the rot that has taken place. I believe that they remain aboard your vessel, things will only get worse. And considering we are going towards the source of the rot, or at least attempting to find a way to cure it, it might be best they go with us so that they have a better chance of surviving.
Are you saying that one of my crew is infected?
It would appear so.
Well, certainly speaking, that would be a problem. Go ahead and roll me a deception check and then an insight check.
You got it. 19 on the deception, 23 on the insight.
He's not sure if he fully believes you, but given the circumstances, he's not sure he can pinpoint a reason why you would be lying.
That makes sense.
And so, in this moment, you get the sense that he's, at least for now, going to assume you're telling the truth. Like, you can almost see it plain as day on his face as he scans you up and down. He thoughtfully, like, brushes his tongue up against, like, the inside of his cheek for a minute. Tell you what, I can't mend my ship with fewer people, but we seem to be outside of the range of what you called it, rot, for a while now. At least a day's travel. Tell you what, you cure my mate, my crewmate, you bring them back to my ship. Well, you already said that you would turn around and you would give me information. Should you not find a cure, when you come to give me that report, I don't care what you do with them. Throw them overboard for all I care. Let them rot. I don't need any weak men on my crew.
Razvan will nod in understanding. This will be the rain.
You notice him take a deep inhale. He thinks for a moment, almost debating, but then decides, Did you
Something
find
on your
it?
mind, Captain.
Yeah. Did you find it?
Find it?
The stowaway.
Was a stowaway you're doing?
I can smell it on your coat.
I see. Yes. We are going to handle that in time, but I did not want to burden you with it, which is why I did not bring it up.
No one else on the ship seems to know. But I can smell it, son. It's on your coat. Didn't take you for a cat person.
What? The cats are wonderful. And if you have a farm, they get rid of the pests. If you live in the city, they also get rid of the pests. And people who do not like cats are not welcome at my house anyways. So it works out.
Then I'd best recommend you get off my ship, take the cat, the stowaway, and get on your journey. And you get the sense that, like, the moment that you said, anyone who doesn't like cats is not welcome at my house, like, his tone slightly changed.
Fair enough. Then Razvan will give a acknowledging bow of the person's position as a captain before excusing himself from the room.
For
Fuck
sure.
this guy, we're sinking the ship.
Oh, before you leave, are you hungry?
Myself? Not in particular. Why?
Just curious. There are a few that I've seen with canines like those.
Ah, I see. Let it have no concern. I am sated.
You see a wicked grin cross this man's face before he waves you off. As if saying, again, I'm letting you leave. Go on, get out of here.
Understood. And Rosvan will take that gift and leave.
Mm-hmm. And as you cross the gangplank, it is removed from your top deck. And you watch as they do in fact stay anchored. In fact, you watch in the moment Rabbit immediately moving to cast nets off their starboard deck.
Well, Captain, perhaps we should get moving. Branson, can you lift the anchor?
Branson will go over and start, like, hand over hand pulling up the anchor.
Athletics check.
Alrighty.
If we fail, we die.
Don't put that evil on me!
You only get
Anchor
one
goes
shot.
through the ship, we start sinking, and the other boat laughs at
Yeah,
us.
you got me a double 13! You got me ominous!
It's a little difficult. Branson, you barely succeed. But you do.
Alright, Branson's just like, how did it get heavier? It just drops and it's like, ugh, I hate this. And then just goes over to try to, like, help with the riggings like last time.
What we don't see is, like, pounds and pounds of seaweed that got lodged onto it.
Yeah, basically. That's not incorrect. You do see a bunch of plant that is attached itself to the anchor. Unironically. Really quickly to that. First things first, Branson, do you hand the spoils back over to Clem?
Yeah. Branson would hand over all the stuff that, like, we were supposed to get and just be like,
Yep.
Here's where it needs to go in the, like, either hold or the mess, whatever. I will find the place for these boards, since I assume I'll be the one who needs to fix them.
Just before we use any of it, make sure you go over it and check if there is any rot aboard. I have a bad feeling about that ship.
Oh,
Points.
there's not. Don't worry. I've already checked.
Good. Clever, Captain. Ophestiel, I also meant to ask, downstairs, an individual I know by the name of Sasha. They are, if it is okay with you and with your permission, they'll be aboard the ship for some time. They may have some information that will help us out, and at the very least, I did not feel safe with them aboard that ship.
Oh, I wasn't aware you two were acquainted.
Speaking of which, we also have a stowaway. A lot has happened since you were in a short amount of time.
A
Who was the
stowaway?
stowaway?
We were gone for
old
45
friend.
minutes!
An old friend that Branson and I met deep within the forest, who goes by the name of Juji.
Question.
Clem runs downstairs.
I was gonna actually ask, have you guys set sail and taken off at this point?
Yes,
Or at
Rosvan
least
would be.
working on it,
Then
yeah.
when you say an old friend, that individual actually removes the grate and waltzes upstairs on their own.
Clem is like going to run and then like skids to a stop. Juji, I haven't seen you since the mists. Dear, come here.
Hello, my good friend. And they open up their arms ready for a big hug.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the like scoop them up, spin them, go into an embrace and then set them down. And Clem seems elated.
There is like at least 2 vertebrae pops when you do that. And there's a slow turn look as Juji's green eyes look over at Branson, and they just have knife cat expression on their face.
Yeah, no, there's like a small like happy expression of someone Branson knows they are alive and well, and then all of the memories of Juji as just being remembered as the annoyance hits and the Excalibur face hits as they knife cat at them.
This is I'm not surprised you two know each other, but Juji and I go way back. I knew them as the assistants. Well, when I first met them, they didn't tell me their name, and well, we were traveling through the woods, and I just called them an assistant because, well, they led me. They were the one who actually, I believe, introduced me to Omen, and I gesture at Omen.
Yep, that's right.
That does not surprise me at all. Every moment that I have spent with Juju, they have been nothing but pleasant and assistive.
I fully agree.
I do try my best.
If
It
Lane,
shows.
I was about to say, if Lena could visibly see Branson's expression, Ophestio can probably see that. Just like, no, that's not what happened. No.
Lena can feel it. I don't want to speak for Skelly, but like it's not, you don't have to see it to feel it. Like you can just feel the energy and the vibrations from across the ship.
Like there's no
Yeah, Lena's like not sure who this person is that came over from the other boat, but so many people seem excited or ambivalent to see them.
Oh, Lena, Ophestio, are you not acquainted? Well, Juji, I'll let you introduce yourself.
No.
Fair enough. This is an old friend.
Hi.
I would trust them with more than my life.
Oh, those are pretty high words. Well, nice to meet you.
The pleasure is all mine.
I suppose if Rosvan and Clem have such high regards for you, then, welcome aboard. You may call me Ophestio.
Festial. That's quite the name.
You see them actually.
Also, they're wearing Rosvan's hat currently.
They are currently wearing Rosvan's hat, and they have not taken it off. Do you see them pensive for a second, actually? Like they're mulling over your name.
No, it doesn't ring any bells. I thought it might have. You have such a unique name.
I highly doubt you would find any familiarity with it.
Well, you'd
Our
be
captain is quite a
surprised, my
unique
dear.
person.
Nah, that's very true.
Also,
Though I do like your splotches.
And then they hold out their own arm, and you can actually visibly see like what appear to like the normal eye Ophestio look like freckles. You recognize now as just straight up like full-on splotches of pigmentation. And you notice that there's like blue pigmentation around their eyes, around their mouth, around their nose, around the palms of their hands, down their neck.
As he says that, Ophestio freezes. Like, now he was a little perturbed by the person's, like, visage as it is now, but as he, like, is even visibly shaking a little bit, taking a step back. What? I'm
That
sorry.
wasn't meant to be an insult, dear. That was a compliment.
But how? How?
My dear, are you okay?
I'm sorry. I need a
Master
minute.
Ophestio?
And he kind of books it down to the captain's quarters and he locks himself in there.
I look at the rest of the group like, oh.
Branson will like just speak up and just be like, Razvan, since you're the only one who can actually handle. He gestures at the the wheel. If you would take that over, I will at least show Juji to where they can stay. And he is saying this much more brusquely than like necessary, and is kind of like marching over and being like, arm around, let's go, friend.
I see. Would I suppose one of us want to take the ship's wheel?
I believe
They're
you
looking-
should do that as you know the most. Clem like sits down and
Yeah, I say
pulls out
because
like a sheaf of paper and begins writing something.
one of us should check in on the captain.
That was my plan. I kind of gesture at the piece of paper.
Understood. And Razvan will go up there to the ship's wheel and be confused why everyone's not elated.
And yeah, Branson just pulls him into, pulls Juji down into like the bunk room.
So, couple things really quickly. First off, because I didn't get a chance to say it before, Clem, you now have a ginger root, approximately 10 servings worth of ginger root. You have 5 bay leaves and a vial of turmeric.
Clem would, like, right before putting the turmeric away, oh, this is really good for joint inflammation.
There is a point where when you enter into the bunk, Branson, where Juji just kind of sits on the floor, like against a cat knife facing, like, well, I'm not really sure what the problem is, but we're here now.
Festials. He looks up towards the ceiling for a second, trying to find the word. Pigmentation is their own business, and their revelation of it is even more their own business. Whatever they say you will agree with, whatever lie they tell, you will obfuscate in the same manner you do as everything. I will give you the same amount of respect you earned in our travels with us, but if you do something to hurt them again, I will throw you off this ship myself.
You would hard pressed to find me not just clinging to the side, but if that's what makes you happy, Branson.
It's what makes you live, he says. At which point you'll watch as most of the there was an actual bit of sincere joy of seeing that Juji is alive and well, but the fact of what they just kind of did to Ophestial has basically just gotten rid of any respect Branson still had for Juji, and now he's stomping back above deck to just try to make sure. Oh, go ahead.
By the way, as you stop, you're about to stomp your way back up before you're able to get out of sight.
You don't get to decide when I die. You aren't the one in control of that. You're welcome to try. I'd be hard-pressed to find anybody who could succeed. Good luck.
Branson won't even dignify with a response, just again stomps up, just right before he gets fully aboard, he tries to calm himself down, does some uncharacteristic deep breathing to just be and he'll go back over to his spot and he'll start manning the riggings. Once the captain gets back on board, we will properly set the course. Until then, Juji's resting in the bunks.
Is there a problem?
They merely misspoke about something.
I have not seen you this bothered in some time.
Then you'd be wise not to press further.
I see. You are certainly in the mood today. Very well.
In Vistana, Sasha is going to look at. I see. Okay, hold on. Would you like to read that out loud?
I would be happy to. Sasha will turn to speak to Clem and Vistana right as Clem finishes sliding that under the table, but like reading it under their breath. Captain Ophestia, I do hope this is not intrusive on your time. I'm writing as an offer of conversation and confidentiality. Please slide this back under the door with an X if you'd like some company and conversation, and should I not see this note again, I shall leave you alone. That's the best I can do now. Slide it under the door.
I get the distinct feeling that there are secrets aboard your ship. It's not mine to pry.
Go ahead, I apologize.
No, you're good. I just said it's not mine to pry, but I can't help but notice. You know how it is.
Secrets are quite a trade amongst your people, and I am not surprised you would notice. Each one of these individuals has secrets they have yet to tell me. And to be honest, I have secrets I have yet to tell them. It is often how it goes with groups who yet to trust each other fully.
Understood. In the meantime, now that we are off that ship, and at this point, they will start. She will start speaking in common. To the first mate, it would benefit you to know that there is something not right about the Lee Side Serpent.
Very well. I'm happy to hear whatever concerns you might have.
The problem is, it's a gut feeling. There is something not right about the captain and about the first mate. Ugh, Jack is fine. You heard him as Rabbit. Jack is fine. He seems a little too nonchalant, but he's fine. Oh, Clem. They will go and they will pick up the note. They won't read it, but they will hand it to you. From that was slid back under the
Really
door.
quickly, Clem just like writes something back really quickly, writes it down, and then would walk up and whisper, I'm not sure if Ephestio wants me as well, but you are requested down here. I see it slide back, kind of. I will actually flick a finger, and Omen will kind of fly it up to me, and I pull it. Sasha, please, could you teach me how to? Do you know how to sail? Or are you learning? How about we learn?
I'm learning. Bring your friend over here who looks really confused. And they point to he will point to Lena as well.
Well, they do have some sight issues, but
not a problem.
Very well. Lena, come here as well. Razvan, follow me, please.
Certainly.
Rostron's going to be very confused, but we'll follow.
Yeah.
I will bring you, and I will hand you the note I wrote to Ephestiel, and just kind of lean in. If either of you need me, I'll be right outside.
Hey, see. Okay. Razvan will knock on the captain's door.
He will peer out from behind it to make sure that it's who he asked for, and gesture you in and shut the door very quickly behind.
Clem is a respectful, 10 feet away.
You wished to see me, Captain.
I apologize. Your friend. What do you know about him?
Juji? To be honest, very little. A stranger we met upon our travels, and they were very kind in assisting us in traveling through Garthicus when we first arrived. Then, like many of our other companions, they disappeared.
Nothing else?
Not that I remember.
Okay, I didn't want to have to do it this way, but... and... what they said, I don't know how they could have known. It couldn't just be a coincidence. I wasn't meaning to keep anything from you all, and to be honest, I don't even know if I can trust Clem with this yet. But he said something that... well, I guess in this particular company, really only one person can speak on so far, and... well... and he very slowly, still very visibly shaking, will start to take his gloves off. He'll take his scarf off. He'll roll up his sleeves, so you can see at least his ears and his forearms showing what exactly had him so shaken about Juji's comment. Is his splotchy gray skin.
I don't understand, Captain. What is wrong?
What? How did he know?
Well, Juji does have a strange sight of kinds. They have noticed things before any of us may have noticed things. But I do not understand what your concern is. What did they know about you?
This! I suppose maybe it doesn't make sense. No one's supposed to find out except anyone that I can trust, and so far that's been 2 people, ever. So I'm sorry. I just...
About your ears?
No, and he starts to calm down a little bit. It is still really odd that this entire party so far has not had any reaction to his state.
It's not so much even a reaction. You can tell Rosvan doesn't understand what Opus feels upset about.
He goes to sit on the bed and take a breath. Rosvan, I feel like perhaps you might understand a little bit more than everyone else here. Whatever is going on with me, it usually entices quite a fear response in most people.
What? You're quite a handsome young man? Why would that bring fear to people?
Because they don't understand.
Kind of looks confused.
Oh.
You mean your skin?
I've been trying to figure out all my life where this came from and why it is the way it is.
Oh.
No one can explain it. I've never found it in any books, never documented, never anything.
Have you always been this way, or has your skin changed over time?
From where my memories begin, yes, it's always been like this. They've never changed. I don't know if I was born this way or not.
Rosvan will kind of nod.
But it's all I've ever known, and it's done nothing but cause me pain.
I see. And I am sorry for not fully understanding your position, or that it's caused you so much pain. Rasvan will kind of look left and right before kind of really elongating his fangs. My brother, he hated these things. No matter how much time we spent in the sun, we would never tan. Always looking nearly like a corpse, freshly made. Every town we went to, we were treated as pariahs. Mocked with suspicion, we would prove that we were breathing, that we could eat and drink with no effect. That we were not vampires or their thralls. But it did not matter. I certainly understand your pain in that degree, but I am sorry that I did not notice.
Well, at this point, I didn't want to keep it from you, but it wasn't ever a good time to talk about it. Branson knows. We shared a room back at the inn, so that was a fair time. But
Festiel, you owe me nothing.
I feel like you've all shown me so much kindness. I shouldn't keep secrets from you all.
This is hardly a damning secret to me.
Well, no offense, but it is to me. I don't want it to be.
Well, then if you feel like you've given much offense by keeping this secret, then I forgive you, if that makes you feel any better, because it certainly does not, it will not keep me up at night.
I appreciate that. I'm sure your friend meant no harm by it. I just was shocked, is all.
Chuji can be a bit abrasive, but they mean well, I think. Yeah, they mean well.
If you say so.
But some further pieces of information, assuming you have nothing more to talk about on this subject.
I don't believe I do.
Anyway, it would appear that one of the people we brought on board, Clem's friend, seems to have a good bit of knowledge about issues with the ship that we have just left. They wanted to speak to us, but we were more concerned about you first.
Apologies. Give me a second. I'll come out.
All the time you need,
talk.
Vestian, but please do understand that make whatever appearances you need to feel comfortable yourself, but I don't think there's a person aboard that will think any differently of you.
Thank you.
Of course. Now, is there anything else, Captain?
No, I just appreciate an ear. I feel like maybe this place is the only time that I will actually be accepted for this.
In truth,
It's just
it's hard
it's hard to peel back the layers so quickly.
I can understand that. In truth, I think that this White Garticus has been something of a bit of a mystery, of course, more than a bit, in fact, but not one that has been unwelcomed. Everywhere we have gone, we have been shunned as outsiders, sure, but not because of the way I was born. And if you were born this way, even if you had changed this way, I don't think anyone would judge you for your appearance. They certainly have not for me.
That might be exactly what I need.
Then you are in good company.
Okay. Okay, I'm good.
Very well. We will
And
await you on board, but take all the time you need, Captain.
yes, thank you. You
Do you
may
do hugs,
be
handshakes,
excused.
waves? What do you prefer?
A hug would be nice.
Razvan will open up for a warm hug.
He's still kind of shaking, but like, it's calmed down.
Take a breath, friend.
Okay. Okay. Let me just get redressed and I'll be out.
Of course. But do know, Festil, I am quite certain that if we find ourselves in the venture of a terrible hellhound, for example, you will stare them down without fear. The way you are in the situation you feel now is nothing compared to that. I believe in you. As always, you have my full confidence.
Thank you.
He'll give a smile before mostly retracting his veins the best he can and heading out to the main deck.
You would see Clem pacing back and forth, like 10 feet away from the door.
The captain is fine. They needed to get some nerves settled, but they will be out in a moment.
Does this have to do with... And Clem will, like, kind of pull the neckline of their own clothing apart and kind of gesture at their chest?
Many of us have. That are not from Garthicus, at least. Have been treated as monsters before our arrival here. Takes some getting used to not being addressed or seen as such here. As I said, nerves were frayed.
I suppose so. I worry. I would look over at Lena and then look back towards the cabin.
Well, if you have any concerns, I am certain that the captain, when he arrives, will assuage them in due time. But if one of you does not mind trying to take control of the helm, I'm going to go check on our new passenger.
Lena would be like, not it. Obvious
So,
reasons.
Here. And like, is it okay if I touch your hand?
Who is this to?
This is to Lena.
Certainly. She would gently hold a hand out, like the gnarled. Try to aim like kind of like gnarled fingernail tips away, so it's not to accidentally like prick them.
This is how you can tell if a rope is slack. Do you feel this? Do you feel this? And like they're kind of essentially what they're doing is they're trying to teach you how to be able to tell where the rigging is supposed to be without using your sight.
Okay. Oh, there's. Oh, okay. There's like tug and friction. All right.
Right. So if we want to, looks over, notices no one's at the helm. So let's say hypothetically we were to turn, so port and starboard. Do you know those two terms yet or no?
Ooh, would I? Is a good question.
I think at this point, Razvan did and has explained that at this point.
Starboard and larboard, yeah.
Yeah, larboard. I was about to say larboard.
So if we turn port, you want this to feel like, and they're going to like try to forcibly mimic the way that the ropes would feel in the correct position. And basically what Sasha is doing is like taking the time to actually show you, pun intended, the ropes, but showing you ways that you can do it without having to rely on sight.
Oh, okay. That would be very helpful. It should be absolutely about learning this.
Right. And so if it's like this, then you want to tighten knot here, right? You want to keep the knot tight, and then we won't be off track. Because let's see. And they just undo the knot. And you can just like feel like the sudden like laxing of the tension. Like your arms even get pulled a little bit. Yeah, see, that's really bad. You don't want that.
Ah. Yes, I was struggling with that a little bit earlier.
Right. So, and then they're gonna like gesture you to come and do it yourself.
Okay. She would try her best.
Go ahead and roll me. This is gonna be with the help. This is gonna be with advantage. But go ahead and roll me. I'm gonna call this a dexterity check.
Dex check. Okay. A 6.
A 12. No, it's with advantage. It's with
Oh,
advantage.
advantage,
It's
right,
12.
right.
So you are able to do it pretty successfully. It's still like not the best, but like you can physically feel it better than it was before.
Oh, okay, okay.
Does this start to make sense?
Yes, I believe I'm starting to get it now. Probably could take some more practice. Maybe when we get back to Scald, maybe I'll see if there's a book or something somewhere I can read on our journeys to help learn a little more. I can actually read if it's close, she says.
I understand. A lot of the work that I have done has been taught via action and word of mouth. So I figure if no one can physically show you, why not do it the way that I have seen it done for those who lack insight.
Well, I certainly appreciate the thoughtfulness. How long have you been sailing?
Oh gosh, it's only a short time now. Maybe 3 weeks, 3 moons. No, 3 weeks. 3 weeks, not 3 moons.
She would nod thoughtfully.
At this point, Sasha would turn around and notice that it is just the 3 on the top deck and look to Clem and go, "Is this a bad time?"
I'm not certain there's a good one right now, my dear.
Fantastic.
At which point Bryce will just go, "Welcome to being part of the strays that sing. It's mostly dirges."
What's a dirge?
I already like you now. Just the idea that they don't know any bardic terms, but already raises Sasha several leagues in Brandon's opinion. Don't worry about it.
Fair enough. And at this point, I saw Razvan go down below deck before I moved to this. Is there something you wanted to do?
He's just gonna check in on Juji.
Okay. They, from what you can see, are quite literally filing their claws with their dagger.
Settling it okay?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I don't know what I did to upset your friend, but since they are the captain's orders.
Oh, no, the captain, as well, like many of us, before we arrived to Carthagis, was treated rather differently and estranged for their appearance. I believe that is why they tried to keep it as hidden as possible. You bringing it up was not something they were prepared for.
I mean, I can't say that people tend to be very prepared when things are brought up anyway, and yet we move forward. Unfortunately, that just is the way that things are sometimes. Forgive me for being callous. When
Hardly.
you're in a world where many of the, and I hope this is not offensive to say, but human and human-like creatures are so obsessed with information and competitive one-ups, it becomes a bit of a
And they seem to like get this really devious smirk on their face.
fun little surprise when you show them that you aren't interested in competition. That rather finding similarity is a little bit more comforting, and yet for many it's all the more daunting.
Where is this coming from, Juji? Does someone on board make you feel like you were being sized up?
Not on this ship, no. But also, yes, your serpentine friend has a tendency of making threats. I'm interested to see if he can hold up to them.
I see. Well, they are here in Garticus for a very specific reason. It's still difficult to see them try to interact with people in Garticus that aren't related to their purpose they feel for being here. I am sorry that they made you feel this way. I certainly welcome you.
And that I appreciate. But keep in mind that an apology from one who does not owe me an apology is for naught, my dear friend.
Oh, nonsense. I am the first mate of this ship. You are a host. It is in part, my responsibility to make sure that you feel comfortable.
I understand. But when it comes from creature to creature, person to person, titles matter not. We shall see which way the wind blows, as they say.
Still, it does bring me some concern that someone would threaten you.
When does he not?
He's never threatened me.
He likes you, Razvan. He thinks you're one of his, I don't know if it's like kin, I don't know if he uses the F word, or however that works. He seems to really, I don't know, he gives me the kind of energy of someone who doesn't exactly like to call people that they're his friends. But he trusts you, and that's what matters. He doesn't trust me, and that's fine.
He certainly has a funny way of showing it, but I understand your meaning. Please, this one is my bed. Feel free to use it if you want to get comfortable.
Oh no, please. I saw a space that's perfect for little beings like me down below deck. Below this one, in the hall.
Very well. Is your form taxing to you, or is this... I don't recall you taking a different form when last we met.
And in a very horrific, almost, dare I say it, like it's like a shrinking, a sudden like snapping of joints and bones as they leave behind a pile of clothes and a small sphinx cat.
Sits where they once stood.
Ah. Can you just do this whenever you wish? I just purely curious.
It's a little bit more complicated.
Good to know. Regardless, please enjoy whatever comforts this ship can provide. And if you have any questions, you are more than welcome to ask them.
For sure, my friend. I'm sure we will talk more at length.
And they are going to, instead of hopping on top, they will actually go underneath the bunk.
Okay. Razvan will grab his hat and put it on his head before
You
taking
watch?
off his overcloak and putting it
Mhm.
underneath whatever bunk Juji went into, so she's got like a soft spot to lay on.
Well, they also, you notice, take the clothes that they were actually like wearing because it doesn't morph with them,
Right.
and they just like with their teeth like
They
pull
just
it
drag it
underneath the
under.
clothes as well. Yeah,
Razvan will instead help with the clothes then.
Have you ever seen like the videos of like the ferret like dragging like the socks under the bed?
Yep, exactly. Yep, exactly. Same energy. And they curl up, paws tucked.
All right. Razvan will leave them be and head back to the top of the ship.
And the 6 of you stand there. While that's been going on, Festival, did you just come out? How did you come out? How did that?
He exited the room slowly and quietly in case people were engaged in conversation, didn't want to make a spectacle of it. In a sad attempt to probably rejoin the crew in a very nonchalant way and failing miserably, I'm certain.
Clem's kind of doing the like antithesis of that, where they were like pacing, and then you came out, and they're like trying to act normal, but are also giving you space, and they're like, "Oh, hey."
I would just say that you would hear like a unthreatening rumble of thunder as Branson uses thaumaturgy in the ear that's like basically facing him as he's still working in the riggings. And he's just going to give you a look that shows that like he was very angry, but now he's giving you a look of actual empathy of basically, are you okay? Are you good?
Seeing that he's got multiple eyes on him, he'll walk out, kind of puff out his chest a little bit. Apologies for that. I'm okay. But while I have you all here, I think there's something I need to say, and, I've had a little bit of a change of heart. I thought of a new name for the ship.
Ah, good. I can stop calling it that ship.
Okay.
Welcome aboard. This is now the Wayfaring Stranger.
Wayfaring stranger. I like it.
Clem will kind of like dig through their herbalism kit for a little bit before they pull out a small vial of ostensibly rubbing alcohol, lean over the edge, and smash it against the outside of the ship.
Branson will just
Close enough.
Branson will just give a dry chuckle and just go, well, our way is always faring stranger, so you're pretty on the nose.
I mean,
Curious.
the ship's one of
I
us
like it.
now, right? And, you know, we had no idea each other existed until just recently, but I'd like to think that I enjoy being around you all and trust you all. So, where are the other, newcomers?
I'm right here.
New
I
friend
plug behind
is resting, recovering from being threatened by one of our crew. But they are well.
Threatened. What happened?
He's gonna look directly towards.
Branson.
He's gonna look directly towards Branson.
People should think
Ophistial just kind of like, he gives him the mom eyes, like, we're gonna have to have a talk later. Well, I'm sure we'll settle it later. As for current status, we have food for a while. I'm sorry I didn't account for the extra heads, but I'm sure we'll make do.
If it helps. there's a little bit that I can do to help pay my own way. I don't expect to be a, shall we say, a freeloader.
Or
Well,
whatever you-
clearly, if you are a friend of Clem's, you're most welcome to our ship.
We go a bit back.
Assuming that is,
Well-
of course, okay with Branson.
Branson's just not like acknowledging anything. He's just soaking in everything. Just like, no, not contributing. Just letting everything happen.
Well, you're welcome aboard. Make yourself at home.
Indeed, I shall. I appreciate your hospitality. And they kind of like roll up their sleeves. Don't worry. I have a working set of hands and a working set of feet. I can help where I can.
Right, well, before we decide our next course of plot, I suppose, Captain, I do believe our newest friend here did have something they wanted to inform the crew of about the vessel we had previously planked to.
Oh, yes,
Yes,
if you do have any information, go ahead.
Yes, I can't share too much. However, consider it a gut feeling. There's something off. They aren't wrong. They are one of the most important fishing vessels in the entirety of the Sing Song River. Make no mistake, this is true. However, when it comes to those who embody the ship, and for the record, I don't expect you to trust me either. I don't expect you to think the best of me. It's an honor if you do. I don't expect it. However, there's something about the captain and the first mate. Can't put my finger on it, and to be perfectly honest. And they switch to Vistana for a minute. They look to Clem. You know I'm not a seer. You know I can't sense those things. They switch back to Common. I can't give you evidence. I do think that at least Rabbit, or Jack, as I've learned to call him, is his real name, is genuinely a helpful folk. But he has somehow caught his way with people who may not have the best intentions for anybody. Not that anybody has the best intentions for everybody, of course. But I would fair warning. The next time we meet, they may not be so open doors. Just a gut feeling.
Indeed. A quick question before I postulate some theories. Have you seen the captain eat ever?
There's like a slow pause where they like she genuinely for a moment thinks on it. No, we don't think I have.
Interesting. Captain, I had an interesting conversation. Clem had come to me asking if I could speak to their captain to try and see if we can get our friend here aboard our vessel instead. I may have engaged in a little bit of subterfuge, implying that our new friend here might be sick and we might be able to cure them if we go to the source of the rot and figure out a way to stop it. And they agreed, after some convincing that it might affect their crew otherwise. But upon their agreement, they did mention that if we could not cure their crew, mate, that we should instead throw them overboard and leave them for dead. On top of that, they noticed my lineage, as it were, and tried to form a bond of familiarity.
You think he's not human?
I do not know. But what I do suspect is next time we encounter them, Perhaps Branson's lantern might come into play.
This point is the first time. First time he speaks up. It would have come into play if they were anywhere near us. This thing has 300 feet of range.
Yeah. Then perhaps my suspicions are wrong.
They're probably just another werewolf or were creature.
When you say that, Sasha physically like tenses and like narrows their eyes at you, Branson.
Like, Branson actually said that, like, with the least amount of malice or anger. Like, he's just becoming matter-of-fact at this point. Just like, eh. He's become blasé to the fact that were-creatures are a thing and they're just everywhere here.
But, apologies. My name is Raz van Filur. Welcome to our vessel. I do not believe I got your name informal.
Just my first, Sasha.
Sasha, a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Have you been given a tour of the ship yet?
No.
Well, it is my job as first mate to make sure that you are well equipped with understanding where everything in the ship might be, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask myself or any member of the crew, really.
I would really appreciate that, thanks.
Now, with that out of the way, Captain, where is our next heading?
Back to the cauldron.
Very well. Center of the cauldron it is. We'll try to find some piece of visual information from there.
And as the now 6 of you take all of your positions, those of you who need to at the rigging, at the helm, in the crow's nest, with a set destination and a plan in mind, a bargain now made, and a promise to fulfill, that is where we are going to end tonight's session.
Hey.
Oh, heck yeah.
Made it.
Babada boopy.
I just love that I get to now be a problem again in the next session. Like I said earlier, even when Branson is being helpful, it's everyone else's problem.
You get an E for effort.
E.
Meanwhile, his axe is E for everyone. But yeah, do we want to start going around the horns? As we know, some people need to be going some places.
Yeah.
Kaz goes.
I'll start.
Yeah, like that
Hi. Hi, I'm Kaz. You can find me on Instagram and Blue Sky at Kaz. You can find me on Instagram and Blue Sky at Sarcastic Vision for art stuff. As of right now, I'm in deep con crunch mode, so I'm probably going to be very flippantly on and off the internet, but that's me, and let's go Skelly.
It's me, Skelly Alpha. Can be found under Blue Sky and Twitch under the same names. Been doing a lot of streaming, a lot more collabs coming up this coming week. A lot more vintage story coming up, as well as the Liminal Escape Donathon is still going. Other than that, Paper Mario themed D&D on Thursday. The gang is starting to really unwrap the mystery at the foot of the Icy Mountain, which they were tasked on checking out. And I mean, that's really it. I'm going to be streaming like 6 or 7 times this coming week. And that's all I really got at the moment. I will pass it to Zan.
Whoa, that's me. You can catch me tomorrow, twitch.tv/theunexpectables, 6 p.m. PST, for some more Ravenloft. So if you're not done with the Domains of Dread, go check that out. And then on Saturday, twitch.tv/theunexpectables again at 6 p.m. PST, we're going to be going back into Cyberpunk with some more All Saints Must Die. So if that piques your interest, come join us for that. Aside from that, my stream schedule is going to be very erratic at best because I'm going to be on vacation. So if you want to see what I'm up to, check out my Blue Sky as Animals Grim. That is me as I gently bequeath the talking skull to Leah.
I gently take the talking skull and then dribble it between my legs and dunk it.
Hell yeah.
As
shit.
I am going to be on my channel at Amusing Thalia tomorrow for doing Deltarune. I will be nowhere mostly during this week at least, but then on Friday returning on at Distortion Devil's channel for some Kazuro's Guide to the Cosmos. And lastly, eventually back here a couple weeks from now. But that's really it for me for now. I do a thing on Thursdays, but that's not this week. That will be next week. And the camera pans down to me finishing the dunk on, and the skull goes through the hoop and down towards... Saris, have you gone yet?
I have not. I'm gonna catch the skull with my bare hands. Hey y'all, you can find me all over the internet at TixTixel, where I will today be posting some art, as you have all gotten to witness today. Other than that, you will find me over at the Amusing Thalia's channel tomorrow for, as said, Deltarune. And then over at Distortion Devil's channel on Friday for some more Kazdor's Guide to the Cosmos. And then back here at this channel on Saturday for some more No Love War Extra. And is that everyone? I think that's everyone.
Other than Vaughn, yeah.
Yeah. Then
Other than the
really...
birthday boy.
Yeah, I just want to say a quick
birthday.
happy birthday to
Thank
our
y'all.
lovely host.
Oh, real quick. So not to bring down the mood too much, but Scully did bring up that we should probably address the situation with Thero. Go ahead.
I figure a Thero plug would be good.
Mm-hmm.
We're all saluting.
His Romastics beanbag is currently having to undergo emergency surgery, and could really use some help being able to afford it. I can't pull up Twitch chat to link it.
Yeah, they're getting hit with some real shit as far as vet bills go, and it's a pretty serious surgery. So,
Vaughn, if I send you the link, Vaughn, can you post it in chat?
Yeah, just give me a sec.
Thanks, Vaughn.
Yeah, I just had to move some other links that I had pre-set up. There we go. Got this. Copy, and just ping me tomorrow, and I will put it up in the actual episode description too, so that way people on YouTube can also find it.
Appreciated.
There we go. There's the GoFundMe. But
Beanbag's a good boy, and he's very, very young, so
yes,
deserves a chance to live a full, long life. And Thero's a good bean.
Mm-hmm.
A bean in his beanbag.
Which is true.
But yeah, hi, you've already found me here at twitch.tv/BurnoutVaughn. You can find me on Blue Sky and YouTube at Burnout Vaughn, over on Patreon, Burnout's Bar. Yeah. Tomorrow, I will be possibly a TV man in a suit on Leah's channel. And then Saturday, we will be hopefully putting a rest to the stickiest part of Fate Extra CCC. I say hopefully, but I've stopped having hope. I've just accepted that now we are all the fast food places on the moon, and we are never the place that you need to be. So, come watch us be toxic and bisexual, okay? Thank you for coming out. We're going to raid a good friend who just started up a new channel for all of their D&D stuff. We mentioned him earlier, our good friend One Farting Tart, who did Web of Deceit for us. He now has his own channel for D&D related content for his sequel series to his 5-year-long running campaign that he did for his friends. That is now called Sins of the Blood on episode 4. So, what should our raid message be?
Sins of the fathers.
Sins of the past?
You really have some Sins of the fathers.
I don't know. It's the first thing that came to my mind. Go with Zan's thing. It's much better.
Okay, what was it, Zan?
No, I just told Kaz to go. I want Kaz to do something.
Oh, I checked out a minute ago.
Skelly, go.
About?
Make a raid message.
No.
All right, fine. Sins of the Fathers. Here we go.
Sins of the Fathers.
Sins of the Fathers. Thank you all for coming
Now,
out. We will
damn
see
it.
you again in 2 weeks' time. We love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I cut out.